The football talk show that holds back nothing on opinions.
Straight shooting LJA.
Hi, I'm John Sitton.
Grassroots coach Manisha Taylor.
Hello, I'm Rob Perez.
The G-Man.
Samira Sawhney of Motivate Sports and Fitness.
Christian Carambeu.
Matt Hodgson, Director of the 4-Year Plan.
We the people, for the people. Jazzy Fizzle.
Your Monday night footballing fix.
Make sure you join the revolution.
The pitch is where we eat.
The pitch is where we sleep.
And the pitch is where we talk. Each and every Monday night of your lives.
At youtube.com/pitch talk. For podcast links and information, check out our official website, www.pitch-talk.com.
Hello, I'm Rob Perez.
Grassroots coach Manisha Taylor.
Christian Carambeu.
Matt Hodgson, Director of the 4-Year Plan.
Dave McLaughlin.
I'm Rob Lusher.
Andy Copeland from the Glennet Southern Amateur League.
Philip Wick. I'm CEO of 14.
Former Chairman of Ibis FC.
Chairman of Alexandra Park FC.
And you're listening to
Pitch Talk, the only place to get your Monday night footballing fix.
Because the pitch is where we eat.
The pitch is where we sleep.
And the pitch is where we talk. Make sure you join the revolution, the football revolution.
Hi, I'm John Sitton, and I'm here with Gavin, Liam, and Gerald on Pitch Talk.
The football talk show that pulls no punches and holds back nothing on opinions.
Hello, I'm Rob Perez. My name is Christian Carambeu.
I'm grassroots coach Manisha Taylor.
Hi, I'm Matt Hodgson, Director of the 4-Year Plan, and you're listening to Pitch Talk, the only place to get your Monday night footballing fix.
Make sure you join the revolution.
The pitch is where we eat.
The pitch is where we sleep.
And the pitch is where we talk.
I'm Andy Copeland from the Glennet Southern Amateur League.
Philip Wick. I'm CEO of 14.
I'm Rob Lusher, former Chairman of Ibis FC.
I'm Samira Sawhney, co-founder and co-director of Motivate Sports and Fitness.
And you're listening
to Pitch Talk.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. Good evening.
Why are you pointing at Castel Pantilimon like that?
That's what's just about. Is that Pantilimon?
Yes, Castel Pantilimon. Castel, who currently 4.5 minutes gone. Crystal Palace 0, Sunderland 0. We'll be giving you updates on that. But you know what? We just see Castel Pantilimon, and it made us think, yeah, we right now need to say, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, straight shooting LJ, the G-Man, and Jazzy Fizzle, proudly bring to you the football talk show that pulls no punches and brings you updates on Castel Pantilimon, because the pitch is where we eat. The pitch is where we eat.
The pitch is where we sleep. The pitch is where we sleep.
And the pitch is where we talk.
Apologies.
He's doing dramatic pauses already. Oh my God. We are the football talk show that pulls no punches and holds back nothing on opinions. You know what? It is Monday. It's mayhem. It's mayhem, and we're not talking WCW either. I was watching one of the Monday Night Wars episodes earlier. That's why I thought I'd drop WCW. Hash OWR right there. First OWR of the show. But you know what? Here's one of them ones where www.pitch-talk.com is the official website where you can find updates on everything Pitch Talk, and you never get a penalty on that one. But my word, yeah. Facebook.com/Pitch Talk. Become fan, become friend, become a member of the group. Join the footballing revolution we are working so hard to create. MySpace.com/Pitch Talk. PitchTalk.blogspot.com or .co.uk will get you to blogs by yours truly, straight shooting LJ, the G-Man sitting next to me, Jazzy Fizzle, who sends his regards, and many others, including Russ Vernon, Big T, a.k.a. Thomas Hewitt, Dave Meir, a.k.a. at Meir C, Mike Harneman, and many, many more. YouTube.com/Pitch Talk as well is where you can find our latest videos. Pitch Talk meets Sohail Raymond, the world's first fully qualified wheelchair-bound football coach. That is coming soon. Keep your eyes posted on the social networks for that. At Pitch Talk on Twitter or twitter.com/Pitch Talk. Keep an eye there for more information. Also, Pitch Talk meets Girls on the Ball. We sat down with Sophie and Rachel. Unfortunately, we didn't have Scotty in the room, but it was one of them was we've got some information coming soon on Pitch Talk meets Girls on the Ball, which will be released soon as well. So keep your eyes on That Virginia tackle looked a bit more suspect in the replay. By emotion, it did look like he got the ball. But it's one of them ones. We've got a couple of Pitch Talk Meets interviews being released soon, so keep an eye on the social networks. Also, what's that? Call the mobile phone 07535804466 is the mobile number. Call us, text us, let us know your views. We are Pitch Talk 1 on Skype and Pitch Talk Live on Google Plus as well. So it is one of them ones where good, man. See, man, how's your weekend been before we move on to the first segment of the show?
No, you got to say quickly but shortly. Yep. No. What am I talking about? Sorry, no. The weekend's been great. You know, it was a Halloween weekend. Didn't really participate in Halloween. You know, shot some poo. So I'm starting to get to the poo scene. You get me?
Oh, for a second, I thought you said you shot poo. Why would you shoot it?
Oh my God! None of that.
Supposed to lay it down.
But, yeah, you know, knocked the footballs around, and also went to see the match at Emirates. Which we'll be getting into later, the game on, you know, results and analysis, and just enjoy the football on the TV as well.
Well, that one's right. We got interesting.
I want to say big shout outs though.
Yeah, go on, sure.
Big shout out to my dad and my mum who both had their birthday last week.
Oh, nice one.
Big shout out to yourself as well, who handled the show last week as well. Fantastic. And also forthcoming birthdays. Just want to out of the way because I'm off in November, and also my little bro Corey's birthday is coming up. So big shout out to you all.
I hear that.
Because I will forget their birthdays on the show.
I'm gonna say hopefully not in person. Like. It's like I forgot. Couple random and strike one.
How was your weekend though?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad actually. Halloween was actually quite fun. It was actually a lot of fun. You will have seen on Facebook the well, let me tell you something, brother. Bumped into someone dressed as Hollywood Hulk Hogan. The 2002 edition with the 91 edition belt, the old winged belt. So, oh no, it's quite interesting. Quite interesting.
And I saw that you dressed up as Papa Shango.
Well, you know what? Yeah, my gimmick on Saturday was what's it? What's it? Oh God, what was the line? Yeah, that's it. I am the reaper of wayward souls, the harvester of lost minds. That was my gimmick on Saturday. Because it'd be one of them ones. Because if anyone had asked me, so who are you supposed to be? I am the reaper of wayward souls, the harvester of lost minds. Most people would just get confused and not ask a follow-up question.
So basically, use me in the black ultimate warrior.
In a way, yeah. Actually, if you want enigmatic, hey, that's the best time of year to do it. The nose of the plane, Hogan. You don't know dive. It's all that was, but it was fun. Like it was actually a lot of fun. Got to play for the Ibis on the weekend, which we'll get into later on as well. So, a lot of fun. But you know what? It is about that time where we pause the current track reel. And remember, 10 minutes gone, Crystal Palace 0, Sunderland 0 is the current score as well. Big shout out to Motivate Sports and Fitness, Thin White Line magazine as well. Big shout outs. And also big shout out to the Skypers as well. We got Ross Vernon, Tom Wood, Jamie Bailey, Mike Harneman, Kieran Riley as well. We got the 2 men in the chat. But also, Lavinia, what's up? Big shout out. Looking forward to the birthday on the weekend. But let's roll into the first segment of the show, which is just a bit off. Results and analysis. It's results and analysis. Yes, it is. And where we're going to start off, Tuesday, 28th of October, 2014. Bournemouth 2, West Brom 1 in the Capital One Cup 4th round. O'Kane getting the first goal on 49 minutes to open the scoring, but Elphick scoring an own goal on 85, and Wilson sealing the win for Bournemouth on 86 minutes. A couple of good results for Bournemouth there after that 8-0 last week, but hey, they progressed through. The MK Dons 1, Sheffield United 2. Benakofobi opened and scoring on 67 minutes, but Higdon scoring on 86 minutes and 93 minutes gave Sheffield United the win. So guaranteed League One representation in the next round. Shrewsbury 1, Chelsea 2. Didier Drogba scoring the first goal in 48 minutes. We've got an interesting story regarding the build-up to this game as well, so stick around for that. But yeah, Mangan scored on 77 minutes and Grandison scored an own goal on 81 minutes to put Shrewsbury out. Or in Eden Hazard's words, strawberry. It's been going around on the weekend, and I thought I might as well mention the strawberry gimmick. Yeah.
Mangang.
You're terrible. Yeah, Mangang. At least it ain't what's it, Steve Mandanda. Yeah,
We need to do it. We need to do another segment that we done ages ago with funny names.
That's a good point, actually.
Rehash that.
We had that. Hey, oh my god, that was early PT as well. Oh, that was classic. Good one, Mike Harneman, you watched the Shrewsbury Chelsea game. What do you think?
Yeah, I did. I quite enjoyed it, to be honest. I thought Shrewsbury gave them a really good game. I was expecting that as well, though, because seeing Shrewsbury when they came to the Emirates a couple of years back now in the same competition, they actually gave Arsenal a really good game, and I think it was 2 or 3-1 that day as well. And it was quite what's the words I'm looking for here? Quite an open and entertaining game because they do play some good football. So, I thought they were unlucky. I thought they could have taken it to extra time. And the way that Chelsea got their goal was very harsh on Shrewsbury.
No, I hear that. An own goal was always one of them was where I think it was Rossi. Drogba was trying to claim it at first, and it was like, nah, it's clearly an own goal. Right. Tom Wood, you wanted to jump in as well?
Yeah, I didn't watch it, but I listened to it on the BBC 5 Live because Southend's manager Phil Brown was in there, and when some of the quotes he was coming out with, it seemed like quite pretty happy with how the way Shrewsbury was playing, because we played them earlier on in the season. We only beaten 1-0, but it was quite funny because he was sitting in the commentary box with his Southend tracksuit on and his football boots.
Well, like he's gonna run on to do a cameo. Say, yeah. Oh wait, I'm in the wrong kit. But still, it's like in them drills where you got the floater. Yeah. You just get Phil Brown as the floater. Whoever's in possession at the time, that's the team he's playing for. That would be kind of funny, actually. No. Oh, God. I'm gonna leave that one in the Skype chat. Russ Vernon, you wanted to jump in on Bournemouth West Brom?
Yeah, because I managed to catch this game, and I thought Bournemouth played very hard. Managed to catch a few Bournemouth games this season, one when they played against Leeds, and when they played again on Saturday against Brighton, which we won on Saturday as well, 3-2. And Bournemouth in the game against West Brom looked very, very good side. They did look good against us as well, but lost to us 3-1 early in the season. But since then, since they've lost to us, they've got a really good run, and nothing they lost again, and they played some really good football. They have some decent football. They've got an ex-Leeds man in the team, left back Ian Hart, who played very well against them as well, West Brom as well, and were decent balls in, and played a very good game. I just want to give a shout out to a friend of mine, Sam Rook, who was there for his own website, which is Football League World, which I write for on there, and he was there in the press area. And also a big shout out to Richard Foyce, who's a steward at Bournemouth. Who was also a Bournemouth fan as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. I said a very good result for Bournemouth, especially with that, like adding to that 8-0 from a week ago. As well, them was a smacking at the moment. Speaking of somewhat of an odd result, actually, Fulham 2, Derby 5. Musa Dembele scoring on 27 minutes and on 45 minutes, but Chris Martin penalty in first half stoppage time halved the deficit, but or at least half the arrears anyway. But Russell scored on 47 minutes. Dawkins scored on 54. Hendrick scored on 62, and Dawkins scored on 65. So Fulham went from 2-1 up to losing 5-2. And some of the goals were atrocious. Oh, a couple of them have to get the Brian Alvarez treatment in a minute. But it was one. Honestly, it's been that kind of week for silly slop goals. Really, I mean, there have been a few, man. It's just weird. It's just mad what's fun about. Right, what numbers? I mean, Jamie Bailey, you wanted to jump in quickly before we move on.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that nobody really saw this coming, even at Fulham.
Well, Fulham have been doing all right recently. I mean, we mentioned last week them against Charlton. Where it was
we did well against Charlton. We did well. We've got Blackpool, Huddersfield, and a few other teams at the bottom. But yeah, when it comes to Derby, as everybody saw against Brentford, it wasn't exactly easy, and I think they're not really too happy with coming down to London. But again, they found it quite easy with 10, 15 minutes of play, which we just didn't switch on, and I think that's down to inexperience. I think the boys just sort of switched as they had a 2-1 lead at the front, and the other team just didn't really change the tactics where Derby actually did. So I think that's the big issue is inexperience kind of cost us that game on Wednesday night.
No, I hear that. I mean,
just want to ask Jamie, would you say it's for the best that Fulham are probably out of this competition, get to concentrate on the league?
I'd say it's for the best that Fulham are in the Championship, regardless of whether they're in the League Cup or in the FA Cup or any other cup. I think the right thing at the moment is where the boys are coming through and it's going to start to become men. They need something a bit lower level, i.e. League One or the Championship, because if they did start in the Premiership, they're not Manchester United. They don't have Sir Alex Ferguson. They don't have Brendan Rodgers. We're just one of those teams where if we brought everybody through with those guys, we would, and it was the Premiership, we would have to buy and they would have to go. It's that simple, and I'm glad that we've got the Championship just to concentrate on. Whereas if we were in the Premiership, still, I think our only good game would probably be against QPR, and that would be it.
No, I hear that. I mean, as well, you can't chase too much too soon and rush in the youngsters in great volumes too soon. So that makes sense.
I would say if you guys actually do get to go to a game, or you watch a game on TV from Fulham, watch out for two players. I know everybody's been talking about a young left-sided midfielder. Don't worry about him. Watch out for a Dan Burn, 6 foot Scottish defender, a 6'4" Scottish defender, pretty much like Hangeland. And watch out for the resurgence of Rodallega.
Yeah, you know, Rodallega was the standout for me. Was one of the standout guys in the win against Charlton. I mean, I think back in brace of that. So one of them was he was the standout man there. So I'll go with you on both of those actually.
He's look out for those. I don't want to hold up the game, the show, but look out for those two players, and you'll see why I'm talking about that. I reckon Dan Burn will probably be a Scottish international within the next 2 seasons.
Well, it's one of them was. I mean, Rodallega needs to be a bit more. What the? He needs to be a bit more consistent. But speaking of consistent, actually, inconsistently consistent. Liverpool 2, Swansea 1. Doesn't tell you the story. Marvin Emnes got the opening goal of the game on 65 minutes. Lovely volley, actually. Those ones where it's looped over the top and he's kept his eye on the ball and beaten Mignolet. Sorry, not even Mignolet. It was Brad Jones low. But Balotelli came on as a sub. Few minutes later, made his impact. 86 minutes, actually scored, and it was a nice finish as well. Very controlled finish. But Fernandez was sent off on 92 minutes. The resulting free kick led to Lovren's goal, which it was one that, but it was one of them ones in this game where until Balotelli came on, it was kind of like we were just so profligate. But Barini stated a good case for himself, and so did Philip Coutinho as per usual. But it was one of them ones. The Fernandez thing, looking at it on replay, it was harsh as a sending off. A yellow, probably, but I mean, it was one of them ones where it was just one of them ones where we still look a little devoid of not even devoid of attacking threat because we're making chances, but it's just that final ball, that final bit of penetration. And as I said, the Fernandez thing, it was a free kick clearly, but for it to be a red, it's like Ivanovic last week. No, not a red for me. But there's a lot worse tackles that have gone down this week, so it's one of them was. But hey, at least we're through.
Yeah, and it's great to see Balotelli get on the score street as well.
Yeah, of course, because it's him and Brendan Rodgers are getting a hell of a lot of stick. But like I said to you pre-show, it's difficult to get wound up about the stuff that happens on the pitch when you see so much of what goes on off it. I will say that. As I usually say, with the live bird upon my chest, that's the result I do love the best. It's fantastic. But let's shift on to Wednesday, 29th October. Man City 0, Newcastle 2. Aarons scored the first goal on 6 minutes, and Sissoko danced through the defense and scored the second goal on 75 minutes. Now, you know what, yeah? City had their chances, and David Silva actually picked up an injury in this game, which is why he didn't play in the Manchester derby. But Newcastle deserved it, and their little resurgence at this point, when they had beaten Man City, it was 3 games unbeaten. We'll go into the 4th game. But the fact of the matter is Newcastle's resurgence, someone's back from the dead. It's just ironic. It's after Halloween weekend. But yeah. But Stoke 2, Southampton 3. Graziano Pella opened the scoring on 6 minutes. Shane Long on 30 minutes scored the second goal, or SH. Long. You can get that one. So, that's the one thing. Every time I see Shane Long now, I think of that shirt that Kieran Riley told us about. SH. Long. I always now think of that, and it's like, oh look, it's SH. Long. But and Zonzi scored on 49 minutes for Stoke. Drew scored on 82 minutes for Stoke again. And Peter Crouch's second Booker ball in 2 minutes. But he saw him get sent off. But Pele scored on 89 minutes to round out the goal scoring. Peter Crouch definitely does a bit of
stars. -5 stars. -5 stars.
He deserves that purely on the basis of getting booked twice in 2 minutes. Chris Smalling deserves similar, but we're coming back into that later. Tottenham 2, Brighton 0. Eric Lamela scoring on 54 minutes and Harry Kane scoring on 74 minutes. Took a while for Tottenham to get started in it and start putting away goals, but at least they put away a couple in the end. Ross Vernon, you wanted to jump in?
Yeah, I did, Liam, managed to catch the Tottenham game against Brighton, and I thought Brighton played decent football, and I actually listened to the post-match reaction from Sammy Upier, the Brighton boss, ex-Liverpool defender.
Oh yeah, we know Big Sammy here. Look at him.
And I agree with me. He thought they played very good football in the first half. They did play some good football, had a few decent chances, and it was a very good game. I thought the goals in the second half, they were coming for Tottenham with their chances before they scored in the second half, and the goals were coming, and so it was a good result overall for Tottenham. And big shout out to Charlotte Perrin, Brighton fan, who was at the Tottenham Brighton game last last week. And a big shout out to Leicester City striker Leonardo Joa, ex-Brighton striker, who was in the crowd with the Brighton fans.
Oh, yeah, no, that's good. No, that's good stuff.
You know what I'd say? The one burning light that's coming out from North London at the moment, being English as well, is from Tottenham, is Harry Kane.
And over the last couple games, yeah.
Last couple of games, and in Europe too, he's been there burning light. And, you know, again,
that's what I'm talking about. The last, 2-3 games. But let's see at the end of the season.
That's a really good showing for England, because he's really starting to show his potential.
Yeah.
As a striker as well.
Yeah, I'm not denying that. I'm just saying, hey, we've seen before someone come out and have 2-3 good games, and then boom, they're the next big thing. And Januzaj last year. That's all I'm saying. Comparisons can be drawn in that way. But no, it's good though. It's good to see that. Yeah, Andros Townsend too. Andros Townsend. You don't remember him? Remember me. The 5th round draw, actually, quarterfinal draw for the Capital One Cup, took place after the Man City v Newcastle match, and that draw is as follows: Derby County hosts Chelsea, Tottenham Hotspur hosts Newcastle United, AFC Bournemouth hosts my boys Liverpool, and Sheffield United host Southampton. All ties to be played the week commencing the 15th of December 2014. Day after my sister's birthday, actually. But yeah, it is one of them ones. You know, in relation to this draw, Tottenham Newcastle sticks out, but I think Chelsea are favourites. I mean, the Chelsea league leaders have to be looked upon as favourites. Even if they put a changed side out, let's be honest there. We know they've got the squad there. So I'd look at Chelsea's favourite.
Yeah.
But hey, we can't underestimate Bournemouth. No way. Hey, are you mad? I mean, Mike Hardiman has it right.
Can't underestimate Bournemouth, but at this stage in the competition, you'd like to think that, you'd like to think at this point in the competition, Liverpool and Chelsea definitely both will progress from that round, being the stronger teams.
Yeah.
No disrespect to the other teams, but
I mean, it's interesting though. The sole League One representatives being Sheffield United, the Blades. I mean, it's one of them. Big shout out to Vernon Grant of VG Tips, who actually supports them as well. But I mean, it's one of them. It's one of them ones where, I mean, it's good to see League One. Not a VG Tips. Oh, anyway. But no, it's one of them ones where it's good to see some League One representation within the Capital One Cup. The latter stages, it's always good. It's always good, rather than the same old names all the time. So it's good stuff. Any of the Skypers want to jump in on that draw before we move on? Go, Russ. What do you want to say about the Capital One Cup round 5 / quarter-final draw before we move on to Jamie?
Yeah, when I saw the draw, we talked about it today with a few mates at college who one's a Liverpool fan, one's a Chelsea fan. And we're all saying where Bournemouth are playing at the moment and where Derby are playing in the Championship as well, those Chelsea are going to have a tough game if the Derby play like they've done in the Championship, and same with Liverpool and Bournemouth playing. The people who's a Liverpool fan, he's that Madrid. He reckons Liverpool put a full strength team out against Bournemouth and will not rest the likes of Gerrard like you did in the last round. And I think if Sheffield United perform how they are doing in League One and they have done in the past couple of rounds in the Capital One Cup, especially against MK Dons, then there'll be a tough test for Southampton. And a big shout out to Dominic Jenkins, who was a Sheffield United fan, who was one of the support staff at college.
Look at the Stewards! Going on. I swear I know that guy with the dreadlocks. No, I'm kidding. By the way, Sunderland are 1-0 up against Crystal Palace. Fletcher has the goal. No, he's onside. Very good cross and a superb header. Headed it down into the ground from the right-hand side of the box, aka Palace's left side of the box. Very good crossing, stood up well. Fletcher rose well, unopposed, it must be said. I think it was Jedinak right in front of him. So it was one of them ones, bit at fault there. No, actually was it? No, it wasn't Jedinak. It was Ward in front of him. And Gus Poyet, yeah, he's happy. He's happy. 31 minutes gone. Sunderland lead Crystal Palace by a goal to nil at Selhurst Park. Jamie Bailey, did you want to jump it? Oh, that's a good one. Jamie's just put, Chezzy, is that you? Chezzy, is that you? The steward with the dreads. That's good. That's funny. Jamie, do you want to jump in on the Capital One Cup 5th round draw?
Yeah, I put that in, see if anybody catch on to it.
Jamie, what you got? Tell us about the draw.
I'm looking forward to seeing them Sheffield United against Southampton. I'm not too sure if Derby's got the professional know-how just to actually edge past Chelsea. Liverpool, I think, actually have I think Steven Gerrard's going to make the difference between Liverpool and Bournemouth. And Spurs and Newcastle, that's neither here nor there. I'm not really too bothered about either team. Sheffield United against Southampton seems a bit of a big one, and it's almost like the FA Cup in this one. And Sheffield United's already been to the FA Cup semi-final last season, and a former Derby coach manager is taking them again. So I think most people will really want to watch out for how Sheffield United progress in this game. But I think if you look at it, if you ask me the question of who could replace Arsene Wenger, it wouldn't have been. I wouldn't have known who would have replaced Southampton's manager. But I still think Ronald Koeman is the only person that could actually replace Wenger at the moment at Arsenal because of what he's doing at Southampton.
Well, you got to bear in mind he ain't leaving for a while. So
just what he's done in the past. I don't think Southampton's going to be in the top four, but I still think they're good enough. And what is it with everybody's shoulders nowadays? They've got weak shoulders. Somebody's just coming off. Apparently, been about 3-4 different injuries to shoulders this weekend.
Well, you know what? We'll move on to that in a sec. But you know what? Yeah, hey, it's one of them. Palace had another claim. Well, a claim for a free kick anyway, because it was just outside the box with Wilfried Zaha. They had a penalty shout very early on as well. Both of them could have been given. Both of them could have been given as penalties. We've seen a lot less given. Oh, God. Saturday, 1st of November 2014. Newcastle 1, Liverpool 0 is where we're going to start with the early game. Live at the time, I only saw about 15 minutes of this because I was playing for the Ibis, so get into that later. But, yeah, Perez getting the only goal of the game on 73 minutes. And you know what, yeah? Sissoko only getting a booking on 49 minutes. That should have been a straight red. Janmaat should have got a red as well. And it was one of them ones that refereeing standards. We were talking about this on the phone yesterday, and I don't get how Sissoko's tackle right under the nose of the referee. He could be looking directly at it and think, "Nah, I'm only going to give a yellow."
Yeah,
it's what was that?
It was atrocious.
I don't get it. I mean, there's been a few kind of reckless tackles that really should have gotten punished. It's just crazy, absolutely crazy. I think one was Alex Songs as well.
Yeah.
And they just say, what the? I don't get it. Fact of the matter is though, with Liverpool, it's a case of. It's a case of the fact of the matter is just look a little lethargic in terms of the passing is sloppy, and it's sloppy mistakes. I mean, Moreno's mistake, it's like, dude, just put your foot through it. That's all you got to do. There ain't no point taking no touch because you ain't got time to take touch in the area. You just get it out. But he's trying to take a touch, got caught, Perez, boom, straight in. But the fact of the matter is, we didn't test him cruel enough. There were a couple of speculative shots from distance, but we just didn't test him enough. So it's one of them was Newcastle, 4 game unbeaten streak now. A couple of wins in there as well. They've smacked it. I mean, they've absolutely smacked it. And to the Pardew out brigade, how stupid do you look now? But give it another 4 games. If Newcastle lose 2 or 3 of them, Pardew out brigade will be back in force. Just like the moronic Rodgers brigade are out. See, short-termism in football. See, like I said to you earlier, this is a major part of the reason why it's hard to get annoyed with what goes on off the pitch when there's so much wrong off it. Because at the end of the day, you're seeing a manager, a player being made into scapegoats after 3 or 4 bad results. Scapegoats like they're ruining the club. And it's just hilarious to me, to be perfectly frank. But hey, one of them was Newcastle. Newcastle were quite funny actually, because they pretty much set up to play counter-attack against us. Because we played 3-5-2, surprisingly, with Johnson and Moreno being wing backs. And it was one of them ones where Newcastle looked like the away side. They played counter-attacking. I mean, overtime was giving problems. Sissoko was lively too. Aarons was pretty good. Sammy Amiobi was not bad either. So,
because the one thing I've noticed about Liverpool this season is that they've lost their high intensity that they had last season.
Yeah, that pressing game, that electrifying counter attack isn't there. And we're pedestrian getting it from front to back, and back to front.
I know a lot of it's been put down to if you want to mock, you say it's put down to Luis Suarez, but
one player does not make.
I don't think it's just. I think there's a lot of confidence being lost between the team. From a spell of misfortunate results.
Well, it's the changes as well.
Like you said, there's a lot of your midfield, which was really good last season, especially with controlling the ball and retaining the ball. Like there's been a lot of mistakes in that area, and that's what Liverpool need to really improve on.
Yeah, and half the defense has been changed as well, which never really helps. I mean, even at amateur level, it's a case of if you got to settle half a chance of doing something. So it's one of them was when the personnel was changes. We found out last season with Ivis, with the 4s. It's a case of if you're changing personnel, you've got to settle on a side, and if someone's good enough to break into it, then let them break into it. But you've got to settle rather than changing because you can't get no traction.
Yeah, true.
That's the way I see it. All right, that's one of them ones. But you know what? Yeah, our next result that we're going to go on to, actually, it's yours.
Just swinging on to Arsenal 3, Burnley 0, and basically the scoring started in the 70th minute with Alexis Sanchez scoring. I gotta say, quite a divine header for such a small man. What, 5 foot?
Yeah, he got up well.
Was it, how tall did they say? He's about 5'4",
5'4",
5'3" against a 6'3" guy or something like that.
Yeah,
and it was quite a good header. But then shortly afterwards, Chambers scoring on the 72nd minute. With Sanchez then scoring a third on the 91st minute to make it 3-0 Arsenal. And it's one of those in which doesn't really tell the whole story, because you got to give big shout out to Heathen, who had a great game and goal, and to Burnley, who were resilient for 70 minutes, and they were could say a lot of it was wastefulness from Arsenal, especially in front of goal. Welbeck, Cazorla missing about 3 chances where not blocked off the line, but near enough off the line, and also Sanchez missing a few himself. But it's one of those ones where you got to say as well, give credit to the defenders and say, well, they put themselves in positions where Arsenal weren't going to score past them, and got to give that to their credit. But again, it's one of those results I was saying to you earlier on. It's no surprises here. Was expecting to beat Burnley. I heard some ridiculous scorelines from some fellow Arsenal fans before the match as well. So, when I say I'm happy with the result, and I'm just looking forward to our next game. To be honest, I got to say, I can't even say. Well, I got to say, Sanchez, what performer!
He's a game changer for you,
game changer, man. 10 goals in 11 games. You know, he's sitting seven. He's sitting with 7 goals in the goal scoring charts. You know, joint third with Mourinho. Yeah, man, he's a game changer. And Arsene Wenger made comments about him being, you know, our Luis Suarez, and I totally agree with that. Totally
But you know,
agree with
but you know, the thing is, a lot of people were jumping on. Oh yeah, Wenger thinks Sanchez is your Suarez, and it's like, I love the fact that the question was asked by the reporter rather than Wenger just coming out with it. So some people were using it like it just come out of it out of the blue.
Yeah.
But
well, no, he was just the comparisons are there, and in terms of him being our Suarez, is now we've got that sort of player we can play through now, who's, you know, got that creative spark. Just like you can say Man United have got Di Maria, you could say Chelsea have got the Costa. What got Costa?
Yeah,
so you know, we now got our own little linchpin up front, who we can honestly say consistently he can do something if he's given the chance. The chances too.
Yeah. Where do you think he's best played? Straight through the middle or to the right?
No. Personally, I like the way how he's roaming. I love the way he's got freedom. I think that's
the number 10 role behind the striker.
Just keep him playing how he is. The number 10 role in parts, but I don't think he's actually playing the number 10 role as people make it out to be. I think he's literally just roaming. When you watch him, I don't know, Mike Kahneman and Jamie might have something to say about that, but it's like when you watch him, he's never in the same position ever. Like on each attack, he's never running
Makes
from
it
the same
impossible
position.
to pick up for defenders.
Yeah. So I think we still could have a number 10 in Jack and Ozil, but I just think the movement side of it is like everyone has to move around him like he's moving.
Yeah, I hear that. And
he's bringing a bit of Barcelona. Like he's not. We're not playing like Barcelona. I'm saying he's bringing what he's learned from Barcelona and he's doing it on the field. And that's what the guys need to up their game in. So you know, the rest of them are sort of like moving as quick as him.
He's one of them ones where I'm actually glad he left Barca, because at the end of the day, at Arsenal, he was always going to get a regular chance. And that was the one thing. It was like, yeah, he's a useful player. But at Barca, he was never gonna take Messi out. So it's gonna be one of them ones, right? You're getting played wide. So I gotta say I do like Sanchez, always have. I mean, we've got Jamie Bailey. You wanted to jump in quickly because we got Wayne and Mike to jump in as well. But Jamie, have at it.
Yeah, this isn't about Arsenal. This is about Burnley. As you know, I'm not really a big talker of Arsenal. They pretty much have disappointed me every season for the last however many years.
When they won the FA Cup, but that's a separate issue.
No, in terms of Burnley, if you look at Burnley, they haven't got any defensive problems. Their only problem is exactly what everybody says that you have to do in the Premiership. You either spend or you don't, and they haven't exactly brought through any strikers. So the fact that we kind of got away with Saturday, I think 3-0 is good. But if you look at it, because they didn't have any strikers, or out and out Premiership experienced strikers, we just knew what to do with the ball. Whereas if it was somebody like, well, as it's been shown already, if it's somebody like Chelsea, if you've got a Champions League proven striker, they're going to score. So as far as I'm concerned, that result means nothing to me. It just pretty much proves that it was a must-win game. It was either a win or nothing game, because we couldn't lose. The only way that we could lose that is if somebody like Danny Ings or one of their other midfielders, Jukovic, even had a good day. And literally, I still see it as they were unlucky against Chelsea. They were unlucky against Manchester United, and so far they've been unlucky even against Leicester to not win. So we got lucky on Saturday.
Oh no, I personally wouldn't agree with lucky, but Wayne Schumann, you want to jump in as well?
Yeah, I don't think we got lucky. I think I think it was a good performance. I think Burnley defended really well. And I think, they were just a hard team to break down, and it took us 70 minutes to break them down. Once we broke them down, the other 2 goals came, and we could have had more towards the end. But we also could have been 2-0 up going into half time. But I just wanted to say one player who just impressed me and keeps impressing me week in, week out is Chambers. I thought he was absolutely brilliant again on the weekend. You know, and Sanchez again scoring that goal that he scored. I thought it was a really good goal. The second one. So I'm pretty happy with the 3-0, and it said 3 points. Really, it's a win at home. We haven't. That was our second win out of what was it? 5? Was it 5 home games? So we needed to win at home. We needed to win well because, as I said, we 1-1, drew 3 before that. So it's a win at home. So I'm pretty happy with the win and 3-0.
All right. I mean, Mike Hardiman, you happy with that as well?
Yeah, I'm kind of agreeing with partly with Jamie, but partly with Wayne as well. I think Marvin Sordell and Danny Ings done well for Burnley to keep it 0-0 for the 70 minutes, and they were threats as well for for the kind of team that they are. They did cause us problems, but to have players like Callum Chambers, who is improving week in, week out, he's been playing in the Premier League last season. He just knows, how the league works and how to deal with those kind of defenders, I think, a bit more now. Sanchez, I thought, was brilliant. I think it was great to see Theo come back. Absolutely, when he gets back into that team, when he gets back on form, we're going to be something good, because even Saturday when he come on, he did look really lively.
For real, man.
You know what, yeah? Let's shift on in terms of results still, because we still got quite a bit more. Chelsea 2, QPR 1. Oscar scoring on 32 minutes. What a finish. Gotta say, what a finish. But Charlie Austin continuing his good recent scoring form. He's 3 and 2. Scoring on 62 minutes. And Eden Hazard scoring a penalty on 75 minutes. This was a funny one, actually, because we saw this result coming through after the Ibis match. And when it was 1-0, I was saying to Jordan Mills, our teammate, it was like, ooh, 1-0, ooh, hopefully they hold on. But then with Hazard's penalty, it was one of them. It was like, no, all right. I guess it was bound to happen. What was your view on the penalty?
No, it was a penalty. Basically, the defender got himself wrong side of the attacker, basically Hazard, and he's gone in with the shoulder, but also he's got his legs tangled.
Yeah,
and he's taking him out. There can't be no complaints there.
Yeah, I agree with you, because at the end of the day, as soon as you get wrong side, you're in trouble.
And the thing is, he should have been a bit more experienced in it. Was it Vargas, isn't it? Should have been.
I think so.
Should have been more experienced there, because at the end of the day,
there was no need to go into the tackle like that. I mean, there was another defender in front of Hazard, so it was like, why are you doing that? That's the way I looked at it anyway. I thought it was Sol Campbell on the Sunderland bench.
Altidore.
Oh my God. But Everton 0, Swansea 0 in a match that could have had at least a couple goals, actually. But John Joe Shelby got himself sent off after a second booker ball in 72 minutes. I think it was the first one where it was harsh, but then the second one it was like, mate, you're on a yellow already. Stupid. That was what it was. Hull 0, Southampton 1. Victor Wanyama on 3 minutes, capitalizing on a goalkeeping error. And you know what? Yeah, Victor Wanyama's goal was hilarious, because the goalkeeping deserved
-5 stars. -5 stars.
Because it was one of them was because how a goalkeeper could palace that ball straight to Wanyama. Wanyama was composed though. He took that goal very, very well. But it was one of them ones where it was like, oh, keeper, you haven't. It was like, keeper, no. Match fixing, no.
That bad. I still haven't seen it. I'm just about to log on and watch it now.
It was that bad. It's worth watching because it was that bad. It was nuts. It was nuts. But yeah, I just found it funny. Yes, that one. Yeah, that one. Sorry, the G-Man's just trying to rig up the goals so you can see it. Oh, wait. Oh. Have we got the video? Keep going. Have we got the video? It's usually I was quite surprised about that, actually.
You know, I can't. Oh, there it is.
There you go. Watch about 3-4 ads first and then the video. But no, it was one of them ones. I said it was actually a pretty damn good finish. And hopefully you actually get to see it so we can actually have a chat about it. And yeah, you know what, Jamie Bailey, would you like to read that quote out? I know I'm a very quotable person, but JBK, would you like to read that quote out?
Yeah, it was a quote of you saying, "You know, you're having a bad day when Victor Wanyama scores."
Yeah,
and I remember this last week, considering that Hull didn't exactly have a good game either. So
yeah, he's not a prolific individual at the best of times. So it's one of them ones that you
just to point out the whole problem with the keeper. I still think he did all right. It was a really poor judgment in order to kick the ball long, but he's just going with get it away from the penalty area, and for some reason none of the Hull players reacted in time. They saw the ball rolling, so they know what to do. They're on the football field for Christ's sake.
I mean, it was,
but that's just poor.
Yeah, it was a poor kick out. Yeah, and
coming directly towards you.
And I've had experience of that myself, and it's like, but at amateur league level, you get bubbles on the grass and that. But it was one of them ones. But you know what? Let's shift on in terms of results because we've got Leicester 0, West Brom 1. Esteban Cambiasso in the most unlucky goal of the weekend. I mean, we got two absurd goals within like 30 seconds of each other that we just mentioned. But on 47 minutes, Esteban Cambiasso scored no goal. Now, when I first saw this, that Esteban Cambiasso scored no goal, I thought, player of his caliber scored an own goal. And then I later on saw it on MOTD. It was that is fuming. That is absolutely fuming because at the end of the day, why is Beetlejuice slapped us? But anyway, no, it was one of them was where the way one of them ones where someone blasts a ball against you, you can't get out of the way of it and it goes in.
Yeah,
that sort of one. It's like, come on, you're supposed to be my teammate. You're supposed to be my friend, and you're burying me like this. It's like, come on. It'd be like, oh, come on, man. Like, what's this? That was what Cambiasso's goal made me feel.
And all he could do was laugh. Because there's nothing literally he couldn't do.
Yeah. If you don't laugh, you're gonna end up crying. And crying on the football field is quite funny. I mean, you had Suarez doing that last year. Yeah, John Terry doing that after falling over, blubbering like a baby. So it's one of them. Speaking of Chelsea, big shout out to Jordan Mills, my Ibis teammate. And also a big shout out to Cassie Page as well. But let's shift on in terms of results because we've got Stoke 2, West Ham 2, Victor Moses scoring on 33 minutes, Juve scoring on 56 minutes, Valencia scoring on 60 minutes, and Stuart Downing scoring on 73 minutes. Match that really could have went either way, but West Ham looked pretty good at 2-0, and then it just all kind of collapsed. And it's like, all right, it's a weird one, but it's one of them. I said that was a match that could have went either way, really. Could have went either way. So, right. No, yeah. Staying with Saturday, I'm just dropping down to the Sky Bet Championship a touch. We got Kieran Riley in the house, and Wolves 0, Birmingham 0. Kieran, you were at Wolves Birmingham, weren't you?
Yes, I was. Before I get onto the match, it was our remembrance game because we're not playing at home We're not playing at home Saturday. We're away at Derby County, but we had our remembrance game, and we started it off. And the Birmingham City fans decided to talk for most of it, and then that starts all of us off, which ended up with being a minute's silence, being a minute of us telling them to shut up. But getting onto the game, it was good match. It was a good match. We had a few chances. but obviously none of them went in. They all got saved by Darren Randolph. Birmingham City had a couple of chances as well. They were all right. We did have a really open chance of going 1-0 up in the 93rd minute, but Bakary Sako decides to overpower it, and it goes flying over the bar, which stressed a lot of the fans out, as I know, because I heard a lot of swearing that game. But it's a local derby, you expect all that. But overall, it was a good match. Wasn't too violent between the players, but a couple of injuries. But at the end, it ended up being, the fans clashing, not the players.
I hear that. I mean, it's one of them ones. I'm glad there wasn't much violence. That's the one. But we've also got actually. Oh, another result in the Sky Bet Championship. Cardiff 3, Leeds United 1. And this. Jim, tell me you've seen the goals in this game, because the Football League show just had me in stitches.
I haven't yet, but I was waiting for Russ to tell us all about it.
Right, this was funny. Echele Manga scored the first goal on 61 minutes. Federico Makeda, the irony of him scoring on 67 minutes, formerly of Man United. Moat scored on 77 minutes, and Jones scored on 83 minutes. Now, that last goal was just calamitous. It was one of them ones where the only rating you can give to that final goal is
-5 stars. -5 stars.
You just have to, because at the end of the day, goalkeeper and defender come together, bump into each other, literally bump into each other, and then all you see is Kenwyne Jones just put it into the net. Easy goal. Hilarious. I'm telling you, that goal was funny. That Kenwyne Jones goal on 83 minutes was funny. But it is one of those. I mean, Ross Vernon, what did you think of, quickly before we move on, what did you think of Leeds v Cardiff? Sorry, Cardiff v Leeds, I should say.
Yeah, well, first off, for the majority of the first half, we defended well for the first half, kept them in, and had a few decent chances themselves in the first half. On to the second half, and we just defended well, and then for the first 15-20 minutes, and then Cardiff got a free kick, one ball up to the ball into the penalty area, head on, and then Manga opened the scoring with an head. And the second goal for Cardiff, a deflection off Jason Pearce. Otherwise, I think Sylvester probably would have got that one if he took a deflection, although the defence were backing off as he was about to shoot. But I think if he'd take a deflection, it would have been a comfortable save from Marco Silvestri in the Leeds United goal. Then Leeds United finished on Chris Dawson, and then for Steve Morrison and Casper Slaw for Tommaso Bianchi, and then Dawson played a good, brilliant bit of football, and then Morg picked up the ball just inside zone now, played a brilliant ball through to Suleiman Dakar, and then made a fantastic run again from into the penalty area after he got down the left. Dakar cuts the ball back inside to Slot, who took it past a couple of defenders for coolly slotting over the goalkeeper for a fantastic finish. Leeds were then pushing on to try and get an equaliser in the game, and I thought we 2-0 we could have got the equaliser. Questioning well, Cardiff looked a bit nervous in the game, but then a moment of madness in the Leeds United defence. Ball to go along downfield from Cardiff after Leeds had a corner which was cleared by the Bluebirds, or Red Dragons as they're now known as, and then following this intense rain. And then Silvestri were going to come out and try and clear the ball all the way downfield, but as Blues were trying to clear it, and as Silvestri tried to clear it, it Kenwyne Jones, and then Silvestri and Blues clashed, which left Kenwyne Jones with an empty net to seal victory for Cardiff.
Well, Russ, what did you think? What did you think about the end result? Because we've literally just watched through it again. That's why we were laughing in the background. So as well, what did you think? What did you think of the result? And at the end of the day, is this a case of one loss down, 5 to go before Neil Redfern loses his job?
To be honest, I don't think it is, because we was missing Rudolph Austin, who who's going to be one of his best midfielders so far this season, and Billy Shaw. Once he gets the ball and runs out the defence, the rest of the team push forward and we defend from the front and defend from up from when Austin is playing, because he pushes the defence, pushes the team forward and runs out them, push pressure onto them. We're missing him at the moment. He's going to be out until after the international break. And then, Billy Adriano was missing as well. He got an injury, I think. If he probably would have played, he probably would have showed a bit of a spark like he did against Rotherham and like he did in the first match I played in his full debut as well, which he showed some decent football as well. So I think missing those two, Adrian's going to be back tomorrow, take on Dalton. But overall, I thought, when I saw the team lineup yesterday, Saturday, sorry, I thought it was only surprise for me was we're already at right back, with Warnock coming back into left back and dropping Sam Byron from the team, because Sam Byron's done well when he's played this season. Jason Pearce has been a liability in the back, getting caught out of positions, and now he's suspended, picked up a fifth yellow card. So 1 plus Pearce in defence tomorrow. Liam Cooper is back in the defence. Hopefully can play a bit better tomorrow against Charlton, pick up the first 3 points from the Redskins permanent reigning, then kick on this season and go on that run like he did, they took 10 points from a possible 12.
Well, you know what, yeah? G-Man, you got a question for us, ain't you?
Yeah, no, I just want to, this whole Cellino situation, the sacking of the last manager, the signing of Redfern. Liam just asked a question whether Redfern's going to last 5 games. But I just want to, is Cellino the man to take Leeds forward, Russ?
Well,
are you with him? Are you with him for the sake of Leeds, or is it a fact where now,
do you actually believe in the guy?
Well, to be honest, when he sacked Dave Ockaday early on in the season before he fetched in Darko Milanic, he actually come out and said, I'm going to be fetching in a British European manager who's managed in the Champions League and Europa League, who's British. So the first name on top of my head when he said that, Roberto Di Matteo was at Schalke. When he said he wanted a British coach who's managed who's worked over here for so long and done well who's managed in the Champions League and etc.
But do you believe Cellino is the man to take the club? Is the man to take Leeds United forward? That's the question. Do you believe it?
Honestly, to be honest, when he first came in, yes, but at the moment, no, because he made a promise to the fans when he bought the club that by the 1st of November or end of November, he would buy back the ground for us. And at the moment, he's got no money to do that. So it looks like he's making one promise already. This is on to his fourth permanent manager if you can't count McDermott being sacked in the summer, then Ockaday, and then Melange coming in, and then Redfern back in charge now. So we're on his 4th manager so far. One assurances from Cellino to Redfern, which Leeds fans were hoping this would happen, which it has done. Should things go wrong in the first team for Neil Redfern,
yeah, he can go back to being the under-21s coach.
Under-21 job, which he was doing very well at, and he's fetching loads of players through, like Chris Dawson from the academy, and Mawat, who played on Saturday as well. Those looking 2 good players coming through from the academy. We've got some more as well, Calvin Phillips, one more. So I think as long as he sticks with Redfern for quite a while, because he's a big fan of Redfern, he's Cellino. And when he took the job, he actually spoke to Cellino and asked Cellino this: do you see me here being for the long term, meaning at Leeds United, in the first team, in the academy, etc.? Cellino says yes. He was the one he wanted to fetch in Manu, because he's actually admitted he got wrong with Milanic coming in. But for me, I did trust him at first, but at the moment, I'm second manager after 6 games. Having stability with the club at the moment, with the managers changing the systems, etc. If he sticks with one manager, I think he'll do well for the rest of the season.
Okay, Russ.
I just find it interesting that Russ said that. Yeah, I trusted Cellino in the beginning, but now I don't. Even though last week Russ was of a completely different opinion, and then a few weeks before that, he was a completely different opinion again. I just put that out there just for fairness' sake. It's one of them where the opinion keeps changing, and if you look at Russ's Facebook statuses, it's changing as well. But that's I'll leave that one. But you know what? Let's shift on to Sunday, 2nd of November 2014. Aston Villa 1, Tottenham 2. Vyman on 16 minutes, opening the scoring with Nasser Chadley scoring on 84 minutes and Harry Kane scoring a deflected free kick on 90 minutes. The big Manchester derby. Big Manchester derby. Man City 1, Man United 0. Chris Smalling getting sent off on 39 minutes after already being booked on 31 minutes for blocking off Joe Hart. He got booked, and then for a stupid tackle that was unnecessary, got sent off on 39 minutes. And Sergio Aguero punished United on 63 minutes by scoring the only goal of the game. Now, in terms of the Manchester derby, it was a case of both sides had their chances. For me, City looked the better side from the highlights. Yeah. I'll preface it with that. But Chris Smalling, what an idiot! I'm sorry, but he didn't. The thing is,
it was a rush of blood to the head.
Yeah, but the funny thing about it is that he never got goaded into anything by anyone else. The Joe Hart block thing was just totally unnecessary, and then the tackle. It's not as if you could say, "Oh yeah, he saw the red mist," because no one wound him up. No, he just went in for a stupid tackle. That's dumb when you're on a booking.
It's one of those things they were talking about beforehand about the match, about the whole derby match and the players getting rolled up just because it's the big Manchester derby.
It's understandable, yeah.
So and that's one of the things Louis van Gaal did point out, that he didn't want none of his players to be like that. He just wants them to go to the match professional and play the game as it should be played.
I mean,
it was too much for him.
2 words.
Huh?
What two words and a number, yeah? For Chris Smalling, there has to be 2 words and a number, and those 2 words and number are
-5 stars. -5 stars.
Well, that's all you can really say about Chris Smalling. It's just it's just stupid.
So I'm taking it potentially that could be your flop of the week.
Oh yeah, stuff of the weeks later on in the show. Yeah, I mean Chris Smalling is a great shout for the week easily. It is easily a
You know what? One thing I will say about the Manchester United performance, because a lot of Man United fans saying Man United played a lot better in this account with Manchester City being one of their best performances this season.
But a defeat is still a defeat. Though.
Defeat
you don't get 3 points.
But also Manchester City have just come out of a run of 3 games on the bounce where they've lost, and to be honest, they've been bad losses, poor losses.
And people have been throwing around. Oh, are they on the brink of a crisis? How can you be on the brink of a crisis after 3 games?
Yeah.
And City is still only 6 points behind Chelsea.
Yeah.
I don't usually agree with what Mourinho says, but Mourinho's like, no, we're 9 points clear now. It's only November. And if City win tomorrow, then they'll be only 6 points behind us again. So it's too early to say. They will say, oh, yeah, is it your title to lose?
Yeah, but it's one of those things. I just want to get back to that point about Manchester United fans. And I'm not trying to pick on them. I'm just saying the fans saying that, it's been a good performance. But like you said, a loss is still a loss. And also, like what was said against Chelsea, at the end of the day, you can play as good as you want. Yeah, but at the end of the day, does that mean the team just out-tacticked you?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Man City controlled that game. In my eyes, when I was watching the game, Manchester United had a handful of chances compared to Manchester City. And also, their danger man, Di Maria, was non-existent. And in midfield, they practically got bullied. And a lot was said about Smalling's sending off being a factor. Yeah, it was a factor for Man City playing against 10 men, but it looked like Man City playing against 10 men. Was harder for them. As times can be.
Yeah, of course. Because the 10 men end up digging in and sitting back. But it could have been more. Torres had a couple of the other chances as well. Fellaini had a late chance to equalize as well and fluffed his lines. there was the Van Persie chance too. So it's one of them ones. There were chances both ways, but the fact of the matter is, United lost it, and yeah, they might have had progress and stuff, but at the end of the day, hey, defeat's a defeat. And I think they're in a similar position now to where they were under David Moyes. The only difference being is that this United side at the moment look like they actually want to fight for something. So it's one of them ones. But looking like you want to fight for something and getting the points are two completely different things. Theory and practice, two completely different things. You could be a world beater in training. They don't mean nothing if you ain't doing it in the matches. So, all right. So, one of them was. By the way, big shout out to Jack Hinchin, aka at Hitman Hinchin on Twitter as well. Man United supporter. Had to give the thumbs up. Oh yeah. And also big shout out to a friend of mine, Lavinia, as well, who's also a Man United supporter. I know about the derby a minute ago, and she's like, "Don't even get me started on the derby." You know what that was? It's like, hey, you can articulate your views here, but hey, it's all that one. You don't want to get started. All I can say is, like, Louis Van Gaal, when Chris Smalling got sent off, must have been like,
I don't know what the hell's going on here. Wait a minute. But I don't like it at all.
He must have been like that, because at the end of the day, if I was a manager and I saw that stupid sending off, I'd be like, dude, what are you doing? Wait, what's wrong with you? It's like, Smalling, you small. What's the matter with you, boy? What's the matter with you, boy?
Well, he's facing 1,000 things when he was asked about the Smalling situation in the post-match.
Oh my God! It'd be one of them ones. What's the matter with you, boy? Oh, but you know what? Yeah, we have, just so that track comes to an end, we have the one and only Mr. Ian Kerr, the editor of Thin White Line magazine. Remember, at Tweet White Line. And also facebook.com/Thin White Line magazine and www.thinwhitelinemagazine.com. They also have their own podcast on the website. We urge you to check that out as well. If you're interested in the Australian A-League, it is going to be your favorite time of the show right now. Ian, are you with us, sir?
I am here and I'm ready to let people down. The favorite part of their show, my goodness. I hope I'm nobody's highlight.
No.
Sorry, fellas, I've come down with a cold, but let me give you a clue. 2 days afterwards, we're still eating leftovers from the party, so it gives you kind of an idea of the weekend I've had. Bit of a blowout.
Hey,
anyway,
sounds like a good
idea.
Sounds like a good one. But you know what, Ian? Let's give you a proper introduction, because you didn't know? Ian's going to tell you about A-League football. Ian, what's been happening?
Beautiful introduction, Liam, as always. Nobody else sings to me every week. You're the only one who does. Every week. Just think about that. Everybody else who's listening, just send me an audio file of you singing once a week, and I'll love you just as much as I love Liam. Okay?
That's an invitation. That's an invitation right there. Just as Crystal Palace equalised against Sunderland on 54.5 minutes. That's an invitation right there. Get those audio files of you singing over the Thin White Line magazine.
Yeah. I'd offer a prize, except I can't think of a prize that would, we'll think about it. All right, we'll think about it. Maybe we can offer a prize. Like a dinner with Liam. How's that as a prize?
Well, hey.
Second
ladies, sign up.
Anyway, now let's move on to oh dear, you see, we haven't even got into it yet. Let's get into it, because it's been a big weekend of football in Australia. And why? It's because we've been played over 4 days: Friday, Saturday, Sunday and Monday. That's how we do it in Australia, because we love long weekends. All right, there is none Australians love more than long weekends. Beer, and I don't know, warmed up pizza in the morning. Seems to be very popular these days. Anyway, 4 days. 4 days. Now let's just quickly, I'll give you a very, very quick overview of what's happened. And we'll talk a little bit about the ladder and a little bit about the Asian Champions League, because I can't sign off without mentioning that at least. Now, we've been talking about David Villa for the last few weeks. Well, he has finally said, that's it, I'm off. See you guys later. He played on Friday night, and he was probably on a flight out of Australia later that very night. He played in a losing side. Melbourne City lost to Adelaide United. I know somebody on here is a Paddy Gusnorbo fan aficionado. Well, he did score a goal, but his best days are behind him. His team was not that great. And despite being 1-0 up, they lost 2-1 in the end. Other notable results: Perth won, Sydney won, Melbourne Victory won, and that leaves Melbourne Victory on top of the ladder at the moment, tied with Sydney and Adelaide. Now, let's I won't bore you with the details of all those matches, but let's just talk about one quick thing, and that was the Asian Champions League final. Now, the Asian Champions League, which is basically the Asian Confederation's equivalent of the UEFA Champions League, the Asian Champions League final is played over 2 legs. So the home leg for Western Sydney Wanderers, the Australian team that made it to the final, was last week in Western Sydney, and they won 1-0 against Al Hilal from Saudi Arabia. In the week in between, Al Hilal engaged in a whole lot of trash talk. They basically said Wanderers were no good, they shouldn't be there, and so on and so forth. Well, Wanderers went over to Saudi Arabia. They took 14 travelling supporters, might I add, and we'll get to that in a moment. 14 travelling supporters from Western Sydney went to Saudi Arabia to see the team in the final of the Asian Champions League. And what a game they saw. It was a 0-0 draw, which sounds more boring than it actually was, because there were about 2 or 3 clear-cut penalties that should have been given to the home side but weren't. And, of course, the 0-0 draw meant that Western Sydney won on aggregate, having won 1-0 at home. So they are the first Australian champions of Asia. An Australian team made it to the final previously but didn't win. An Australian team has won the Oceania Championship because back in the day, Australia used to be part of the Oceania Confederation, which includes teams, powerhouses, such as American Samoa and Vanuatu and New Zealand.
Wasn't that result 36-0 the last time Australia faced American Samoa?
31-0, thank you very much. And the guy who scored 13 that day is still playing. He played last night, in fact, Monday night Australian time. So he's still around, still knocking him in as well. So a big result for Western Sydney Wanderers. Now, I mentioned that they took 14 travelling supporters. Now, one of them was a woman. And those of you who might have been following closely might have noticed that Saudi Arabia has a bit of a general rule that says women can't go to watch men's sports matches. So she made it along there. There's been a little bit of a backstory saying, well, actually, she works for the advertising agency that has the Football Australia account and the Westfield account, because Westfield's a major corporate supporter of Australian football. But anyway, let's put that to one side. Nonetheless, there are 14 supporters, of which 1/14 was a woman. So they were rewarded with an Asian Champions League triumph. So a bit of a first there for Australian football. And it will be interesting to see if that means that Australian teams take it a bit more seriously in the future. But that's a whole other topic which we might go into another time. So just recapping, Melbourne Victory, Sydney FC and Adelaide United are on top of the A-League ladder after 4 whole rounds. Bottom is Western Sydney Wanderers, but that's because they've only played 2 games and they've had 2 games postponed because they were in the finals. So interesting times ahead, but certainly the other thing is we've seen the back of David Villa, who I have to say looked very, very bored for the time he was in Australia. Very bored. Oh my goodness. So bored. So relaxed.
And the change of voice as well, you almost sound like Greg Valentine.
I don't know who Greg Valentine is, but maybe he has a cold too.
OWR.
Bored. You know. Oh, it's so boring in Australia.
Like a Lance Storm one. If I can be serious for a minute.
Anyway, so there you go. It's so 4 games in. Remember, it's not a huge season we have in Australia because there are only 10 teams in the top flight. So 10 teams, no promotion or relegation either. So, you know, if you want to finish last, go ahead and do it. Who cares?
Oh, that's cool. I love that. I love that. Oh, you know what? And I have a big question for you. Of course, you got the Thin White Line Magazine podcast as well. Can you let us know where to find that, and also where to find all the information we need to know about Thin White Line Magazine and also the shop as well. Because
All right.
at the end of the day, if you've heard the show, remember, peeps, hear the show, buy the shirt. See the show, buy the shirt, buy the shirt.
Or in our case, buy the magazine. Please buy the magazine. Help support starving writers across the world. Some of those starving writers might be your neighbour. They might live in your town. They might live in your country.
Feed me.
Children in needs coming up. This sounds like a children
you to support struggling writers across the world. thinwhitelinemagazine.com is the website. You'll find a couple of articles very soon. As soon as I sign off, I'm going to hit publish on the latest article that we're going to put on the website. You'll find our podcast. In fact, you can go onto iTunes now. When you say iTunes, whatever it is you say, iTunes, if you've been to one of those fancy schools, iTunes.
You've been to a wine and cheese party.
Thin White Line on the podcast section. You'll find us there. Have a look on our website. You find a shop where you can buy the magazine, buy the T-shirts, and, well, that's all. You buy a T-shirt and buy the magazine. Buy a T-shirt, buy the magazine. I'm happy. Buy one or the other. Buy both. We'll give you a shout-out somewhere, I'm sure. And what else? Oh, we're on Twitter, Tweet White Line. We're on Instagram now. I don't know why, but it seems like all the young people are on it, so we figured we'll get on it too. Instagram, mostly featuring football games and seagulls. Go and have a look at our Instagram feed. It'll all make sense.
Oh, good. Ian, I'd like to say a big thank you. A big time thank you to G-Man and Jesse Fizzle, who sends his regards as well. So
Thanks for having me on the show, fellas.
Hey, the pleasure was all yours. No, the pleasure was all ours. See, people, we got that international flavor for you on your Monday Night Footballing Fix. Remember, www.pitch-talk.com is the official website for your Monday Night Footballing Fix. And also, remember, www.thinwhitelinemagazine.com, at tweetwhiteline, facebook.com/Thin White Line Magazine as well. Hit that website, check that podcast as well. Remember, as said, our website, www.pitch-talk.com, facebook.com/pitchtalk, at pitchtalk on Twitter. And also, remember, iTunes, Mixcloud, Podomatic, Spreaker, and Mixcloud is where you can find the Pitch Talk podcast as well. You know what? We are going to pause that particular track that we're on because we are going to go for a quick few messages from some friends and well-wishers of the show as well. So you know what? We will be back in just a few short minutes. We shall see you in a minute.
The football talk show that holds back nothing on opinions.
Straight shooting LJA.
Hi, I'm John Sitton.
Grassroots coach Manisha Taylor.
Hello, I'm Rob Perez.
G-Man.
Samir Sonic, Motivate Sports and Fitness.
Christian Carambeu.
Matt Hodge of the 4-year plan.
We the people, for the people. Jazzy Fizzle.
Your Monday Night Footballing Fix.
Make sure you join the revolution.
The pitch is where we eat.
The pitch is where we sleep.
And the pitch is where we talk. Each and every Monday night of your lives.
At youtube.com/Pitch Talk.
For podcast links and information, check out our official website, www.pitch-talk.com. Your Monday Night Footballing Fix Pitch Talk is brought to you by and in association with.
Facilities are provided for your Monday Night Footballing Fix by In Situ. Create, engage, and inspire by visiting insitu.co.
Simply Exclusive Entertainment. If you need a party or rave film, go to sxemedia.com for more information.
Apparently Rich. Simple yet effective web solutions to help get your company off the ground. Visit apparently.com for more information. And LJA Productions, the new blood in digital video. If you need a video filmed and or edited, check out ljaproductions.co.uk. LJA Productions, the new blood in digital video, offering services such as video editing, video encoding for the web, including YouTube and Vimeo, audio recording, filming of interviews, promos, live events, and much more. www.ljaproductions.co.uk or twitter.com/LJA Productions and let the new blood in digital video promote you. Pitch Talk is brought to you by and in association with
the one-stop shop for all your coaching needs, Motivate Sports and Fitness. Check out motivatesportsandfitness.com for more information.
The new football culture magazine, Thin White Line. Check out thinwhitelinemagazine.com for more information.
Storm FM with new hot releases played daily. Feel the boom at stormfm.net.
Two girls with their Bonnie Scotty trying to cover as much women's football as they can. Girls on the Ball. Check out girlsontheball.com for more information.
Hello, I'm Rob Perez.
Grassroots coach Manisha Taylor.
Christian Carambeu.
Matt Hodgson, Director of the 4-Year Plan.
Dave McLaughlin.
I'm Rob Lusher.
Andy Copeland from the Glennet Southern Amateur League.
Philip Wick, I'm CEO of 14.
Former chairman of IBIS FC.
Chairman of Alexandra Park FC.
And you're listening.
The only place to get your Monday night footballing fix.
It is special feature time. And we're going into football in the community, revisiting football in the community as a special feature. Jose Mourinho's touching moment with cancer-stricken prodigy. We actually obviously alluded to this earlier in the show during the Chelsea-Swansea results analysis part. And basically, whether raising the ire of rival managers, players, and fans with his brash antics or shooing nosy journalists away for asking the same question over and over again, the special one rarely lets his warmer side show. To great success, it must be noted. He is one of the best managers of the 21st century so far. However, as his league to meet the Euro and this was dropped to us on Facebook, and it was from Echo newspapers. From Friday 31st of October 2014, so a big thank you to Tom Wood for this. Firefighters and police joined forces to tackle domestic abuse by staging a charity football match. By staging a charity football match and playing for the Silent Victim Trophy. The annual challenge, staged by Castle Point and Rochford Domestic Abuse Panel, is part of the Community Safety Partnership. This was the 7th year of the fundraising match, with the Essex Police winning on penalties after the match had finished 3-3. The Mayor of Castle Point, Jackie Govia, officially started the match with the Deputy Chairman of Rochford District Council, Heather Glynn. Mrs. Govia said, too many victims of domestic abuse, whether physical or mental, suffer in silence. We want to raise awareness of the help available to them. All proceeds from the game at Canvey FC in Park Lane will go to Basildon Women's Aid. So, again, as I said, this is about football in the community, and these are two fantastic stories about how powerful football can be. And you got initiatives like this, the Silent Victim Trophy, the annual challenge staged for Rochford Domestic Abuse Panel, which is part of the Community Safety Partnership. That's fantastic. You've got that. You've also got Jose Mourinho taking time from his busy schedule to meet with 11-year-old Shrewsbury fan Lloyd Burton, who's now confined to a wheelchair after having to undergo chemotherapy for a brain tumor diagnosed in May. And at the end of the day, these two stories for me illustrate how important football is to the community and how powerful it can be. And when we were discussing recently, when we had John Sitton and Vernon Grant on the show, and we were talking about, how do we get more black managers into the game and Asian managers as well? It's a case of community outreach. Community outreach is so important, not just in getting new people into the game, but solidifying links. I mean, a lot of clubs now, especially the bigger clubs, are all about the mighty pound, all about the mighty buck. It's called greed, and the buck stops there in the Premier League. And it's a case of football clubs keeping that community link, whether at amateur league level or anywhere else, is so important.
Yeah.
And someone as big as Jose Mourinho, and props to him, taking that time out from an important cup tie to actually take the time to actually go and see someone and have a chat with them, not just and then go. It's actually having a chat. And I said the painting was actually fantastic. And domestic abuse is a serious thing. Domestic abuse is a serious thing. There's no getting away from that. Fact of the matter is, no one should have to go through that. So to have this partnership happening and using football as a vehicle to help get attention for it is fantastic.
Yeah.
So initiatives such as entities such as Motivate Sports and Fitness, at Motivate SF on Twitter, www.motivatesportsandfitness.com, facebook.com/Motivate SF as well, who do community outreach schemes in places such as Oslo, Southall in London. Fantastic. Community outreach and community initiatives are fantastic. And also the Goals for Girls project that they're doing with Girls on the Ball. Fantastic initiatives. And for me, that's what it's all about. Football giving back and helping communities, because it can be that glue that holds a community together. Whether it be a football club, whether it be a football related project, it can be so important. I mean, what do you reckon, Gavin?
No, I agree with you. I say partly is it's important to the communities, and like you said with Jose Mourinho, it just shows the kindness, to actually take, like you said, the time out, go and visit the sickly kid, and show him you're about. You're not just the big. I've said it before with many other players that have done this, and we pointed them out on the show. Like, it's just showing that you're about. You're human. that you care. That's what it's about, really and truthfully, showing the fans that you care. You get me? Because we've had quite several conversations on a totally different scale where it's just, you know, it's like football's oblivious to what's happening in the rest of the world. We've spoken
it's
about
in a bubble, isn't
it
it?
seems like football's in a bubble. So these things, like you say, they do matter, and you know, it's sort of equal to what the England women's football are doing with the cancer awareness and that friendly match coming up against Germany. So, you know, that again, you know, shedding light, and again, to me, using football in the right way. For me, that's how friendly should be used. Give friendlies a purpose. You know, friendly shouldn't just be seen as, what's that phrase that you've always used as a
glorified fitness exercise.
Glorified fitness exercise. Yeah, put in front of it. Yeah. You know, even if it might not be the true meaning to what you want to use it for, at the end of the day, that money's going to go to a good cause. And that's how, you know, like someone, wow.
You look at the England women's match coming up on the 23rd for breast cancer care.
That's what I mentioned. Yeah, but what I was going to say, with the like men's football, it being overpriced and that, maybe people might come knowing that, you know, their £40, their £60 is going, half of it is going to charity.
Yeah, that's a great idea. That is actually a great idea. Hey, people, let us know. Let us know at Pitch Talk on Twitter, facebook.com/Pitch Talk, Pitch Talk live on Google Plus, 07535804466. Would you be more willing to pay 40 to 50 quid a game if you knew half that money was going to charity? I think we need to put that out via the socials and see and see if there's a clamor, because I think that's a great idea. I think it's one of them ones. I mean, I think a lot more people would probably be. I'd be more willing to pay 50 quid again if I knew half of that was going to charity, rather than lying in the pockets of people who are already rich. I mean, we've got, by the way, 79 minutes gone. Crystal Palace are behind 2-1 to Sunderland at Selhurst Park. But we'd like to throw this out to the Skypers as well, actually. And we've actually just got something apparently, from Jonas Gutierrez. Apparently he has confirmed he has beaten cancer, and he's tweeted today he's been given a medical discharge, which we'll chase it up and see if we can get official. But that is fantastic news. That really is fantastic news. You know, we want to. Want to ask. We've asked that question. We've asked that question a second ago. Would people be more willing to pay 40 to 50 quid a ticket if they knew that that half the money was going to charity? Mike Harneman, what was your view on this?
Oh, 100%, definitely. Even more, like if it's 40 or 50 or even slightly higher than that, I would 100% do it. 100% be behind that.
I heard it. I mean, Wayne Schumann, what about you?
Yeah, same. Agree with that. I'll definitely, if it's going to charity, I'll definitely be more than happy to pay that sort of price.
I heard it. I mean, Jamie Bailey, what about you, man? What do you think?
For the right price, yes.
What would be the right price?
I don't think half of it is going to be going to charity. So I think they would have to, in order for it to be 40 or 50 quid, they would have to be told that it's going to be half the price. It's going to be pretty much full price going to charity, and most teams will not do that. So for the right price, I'd say it has to be either more or it has to be less.
All right.
So for the right price, I'd say yes.
No, I heard that. I mean, Ross Vernon, what do you reckon? Would you be willing to pay? Would you be willing to pay 40, 50 quid per ticket as long as you knew that half of that was going to charity?
Yes, certainly, because when I'm not at college and Thursday and Friday I have to do alternate weeks, I actually work in a charity shop in Wickersley, which is not that far from me. Mind for better mental health, and I've been there over a year now. Started in March 2013. I really enjoy what I normally do. There's sell shows with the books or work on the tills and help that way and fetch all the donations and have people fetching to the shop. And if half the money goes there, I'd actually give the player football for 40, 50 quid. And I'd give them half the money to the, and I'd give my money, I get paid for the ticket. I'd give to Mind where I work. And I just want to say a big shout out to Karen Bailey and Mandy Smith, who are the manager and the assistant manager at Mind where I work.
You know what? I think this is, Gav, you've come up, like, G-Man, you've come up with a fantastic idea there.
No, I haven't come up with the idea. The women's football obviously are doing it. It's just the men's game, looking at that and thinking, wow.
Because it's quite funny actually, because obviously we got Pitch Talk Meets Girls on the Ball coming out soon, and it was a case of where obviously we spoke to them about the differences between the women's and the men's game, and one of their quotes were that they said there's a lot more role models in the women's game, and I think on a general basis the women's game is a lot more benevolent than the men's game, and it's one of them ones. I mean, obviously the match against Germany on November 23rd, with the proceeds going to breast cancer care, they've sold about 41,000 tickets for that, and that is fantastic. And that is the first time that the England and German ladies are playing at Wembley, playing each other at Wembley, and with the proceeds going to breast cancer care as well and supporting that. It's brilliant. I think the men's game needs to do more of it, because there's so much money. Yeah. You got you could probably, with the amount of money in the Premier League, just on a TV deal, you could probably wipe out world hunger with that. £3 billion. You could probably wipe out world hunger. Just putting it into perspective, to a little bit of perspective anyway. But you know what? It is one of them ones. Hopefully we'll get some answers back on that question and see what people think. But you know what? It is one of them ones where it is time for us to switch into another segment, and we are going to go into
International and continental talking points.
As the G-Man munches away. He's munching. As DJ Don's Moonwalk from the Father label brings us in. This is one of them ones. You know what? Borussia Dortmund fans make incredible stand against racism. Borussia Dortmund supporters receive praise for huge anti-discrimination tifos from the 28th of October 2014. At times, by their standards, are currently tough, with Jurgen Klopp's side struggling in the Bundesliga. But that didn't stop home fans unveiling several huge tifos during the match against Hanover, attacking racist Nazis and homophobes in football, making it perfectly clear that discrimination will not be tolerated by these ultras. The statement is particularly pertinent at a time where far-right parties are on the rise in Europe. Of course, Germany's history makes it a particularly sensitive topic for them. Now, Dortmund's fans even received a DFB, German Football Association award for their behavior, with the club explaining the stance in detail on its website. During last weekend's home game against Hannover 96, BVB fans, Borussia Dortmund fans, made a clear statement against right-wing extremism. In the away game in Cologne, BVB fans were already holding up posters with clear messages against xenophobia and discrimination. Whether these banners were from individuals or groups doesn't matter at all. What is important is the message, which is strongly welcomed by Borussia Dortmund's fan and funding department. One of the posters actually said "Welcome refugees," which is a massive statement. And it's an interesting one because you've got the other side of the coin. That's in Germany. You got the other side of the coin in Russia. Because the coach on the 1st of November 2014, the coach of a Russian Premier League club has provoked outrage by joking that Ebola has spread to the club and explaining why he is refusing to sign any black players. Stick with me on this one. Igor Gamula told local media that his club Rostov already had enough dark-skinned players, adding that already on the books. His appalling comments came when he was asked in a post-match news conference whether Rostov will be attempting to sign Cameroon defender Benoit Angbois. When questioned about 5 of his Russian players being ill with a higher temperature, he then delivered a stinging joke citing the Ebola epidemic. I'm already worrying it's Ebola, he said, attempting to explain it away as a joke, obviously. Rostov appointed the 54-year-old coach in September after the club won the Russian Cup last season with a campaign in the Europa League following this year. The clearly volatile and offensive Gamula was already in hot water with the Russian Football Union over a TV interview in which he shouted at a journalist and criticized the referee. Now, oh God,
seems like a bit of a hothead.
Seems like a bit of an idiot, if you ask me. But yeah, a racist, ignorant moron. But yeah, it's a case of. I mean, obviously this guy has priors, but with, I mean, all right, I'm already worrying it's Ebola. I haven't really necessarily got a problem with that particular joke. Personally, I haven't got a problem with that joke. But when the dude said he's already got enough dark-skinned players, we've got 6 of the things. That's where I've got a problem. Well, I mean, what kind of bomber's comment is? What kind of bomber comment is that? What kind of bomber comment is that? No, you could no. Nah. That ain't fun. Again, it just shows that. I mean, there's a huge racism problem in Russia anyway. But for a manager to be coming out with this in public on television, it's like. It's a Jesus face palm moment. It's one of them. It's just like you just got to hang your head, hold your head, and shake your head, and just be like, oh God. There's a World Cup going to them soon. That should be fun. That should be a lot of fun.
Definitely does put a bad taste in the mouth, especially with we've spoken about this so many times with the region of Russia, and like you said, the World Cup going over there. You know, players of black and ethnic minorities already fearing what potentially.
Well, look at the abuse. Look at the abuse that Samba's had. The Zenit fans and the racist elite dream. Which was a rant of the week we got on YouTube as well.
But it's just more so to see what the Russian FA are actually going to do about it, because it's them that really needs to clean up the game.
Yeah, definitely.
And, it's one of those things. If they repeatedly allow these things to happen without any real punishment, then it's going to repeatedly happen.
You know what? It is. It's one of them ones where, once again, like I said earlier in the show, when this is why I can't get as annoyed about a couple of defeats on the pitch. When you've got stuff around the game like this, I mean, for me, it puts it into sharp focus. Again, I can't get annoyed and start calling for someone's head after a couple of defeats. I can't get my blood pressure up about that. But when I'm seeing a coach of a professional side coming out and saying, yeah, we've already got enough dark-skinned players and we've got 6 of the things. Like people of my complexion and the G-Man's complexion and Jesse Fizzle's complexion are just things. Like I'm a mobile phone or a microphone stand or a packet of crisps. Like we're just things of no more consequence than the dirt on the bottom of someone's shoe. That's what really grinds my gears. That's what gets my blood pressure raised. That's what gets me annoyed. some moronic J Brone, some moronic J Brone in a football group on Facebook shooting their mouths off and saying stupid things about my team, and me replying to that and them trying to belittle me. That doesn't really get my blood pressure up. In fact, I actually laugh at that and think most of it's hilarious. But when I'm seeing professional managers still with this prejudice in the 21st century, this antiquated draconian style prejudice, and we've got a World Cup going over there soon, that annoys me. That is what gets me. Borussia Dortmund's fans, brilliant. That is fantastic. We need more clubs and more fans from more clubs proving that they're not the moronic minority and they're not just going with like any way the wind blows. Take a stand. Take a stand against discrimination, against racism, against homophobia, xenophobia. That's what needs to happen. That's what needs to happen. People need to start looking at the bigger picture, because we're all part of the same human family. We might all be different shades, say whether it be shades of brown, shades of a cream color, shades of yellow, whatever. We're all part of the same human family, and that's what counts. For me, that's what counts. It doesn't matter what football team you support. Doesn't matter what gender you are. Doesn't matter what ethnicity you are. Doesn't matter what sexual orientation you may have. I don't give a damn. We're all part of the same human family, and that's that. But it's one of them ones. It's one of them ones. That's what gets my blood pressure up. I don't know if you can tell that already. But I mean, it's one of them ones. I mean, Mike Kahneman, do you want to put what you said in the Skype chat? Do you want to articulate that to the people?
Yeah, it's a long way up now, so I've got to find where it was. But it was basically saying about the Dortmund situation, and it's basically saying that it's brilliant that Dortmund have actually come out and done something about it now. They've actually, they've actually put something in place, and other fans can follow it now, and that's, well, what we have to hope that they start doing.
Well, it's one of them ones. I mean, the powers that be need to take notice to start helping the fans to do it. I mean, that would be where I would see it. It's an interesting one. Jamie Bailey has said about, let's see how many teams from the African continent will be wanting to go to Russia. I mean, with comments like this from a professional Russian coach, then hey, if that's the attitude that permeates society, then you're not going to want to go there. So it's one of them ones. I mean, obviously that's got to be looked at. And by the way, Sunderland are now 3-1 up against Crystal Palace. 5 minutes of stoppage time has been played, so that's almost a full time. Jamie Bailey, you said a couple of things in the Skype chat, especially that breaking down the barrier. So, would you like to articulate that?
Yeah, in terms of breaking down the barrier, South Africa changed something that I don't think anybody's really realized. Up until 2009, people were talking about recession, keeping themselves to themselves, blah, blah, blah. As soon as the South African World Cup came, everybody started to know what the African continent was all about. Ivory Coast pretty much proved how good Africa was. Ghana did the same. South Africa could have done better, but they didn't in terms of football performances. In terms of the entire World Cup itself, people really understood what Africa is all about. It's not just about this whole talk of Ebola and malaria and blah blah blah. It ain't about that. And the problem is that everybody still sees the people over in Russia. I don't even remember if Russia actually went to the World Cup that year, but people in Russia still see themselves as the powerhouse. And the reason why they're getting that opportunity is because America still seems to think that a fight needs to be won between them and Russia. So the US are pretty much backing up what Russia are saying.
That's more of a political thing. But in terms of breaking down footballing barriers,
this is where I'm going with it. the problem is that whilst Russia are having these racial issues, they're only being sidetracked because the US still want to be up in arms about a war that's nearly over in Afghanistan. And with the problem with that is off the football, when it comes down to things that are happening on the football field with CSK Moscow, with all of the different clubs, all of it's just basically being swept under the carpet because Russia is still oil-based, still one of the richest countries in the world, still one of the powerhouses of the world, and nobody really cares about the racial issues. So they're seeing it as once the World Cup goes to Russia, it will change. Sochi was in Sochi, the Winter Olympic Games. Most of the countries over there, most of the countries, including Ukraine, didn't want to turn up, but they had to because they were pretty much forced to. So again, it's not just because it's not just that it's within a footballing world in Russia. This is politically destroying for the rest of the world because Russia literally have most of the resources within that country that the US need, that England needs, that pretty much. And the only difference is they can't take half of the stuff from Africa.
Well, you know, before we degenerate too much before we degenerate too much into kind of a political thing. I mean, Wayne Schumann wanted to get his view in as well. Jamie, Jamie, hold on, we've got Wayne because we need to, for time constraints. We do need to move on, and Wayne Schumann wanted to have his view as well. So we're gonna have to let Wayne jump in. I mean, Wayne, you mentioned a couple things in the Skype chat that were quite interesting that we wanted to get out before we move on as well.
Yeah, it just puzzles me how the World Cup's even allowed to be over in a country like Russia still. I mean, you know, I remember watching a documentary a couple of years back, and they are such a racist country. And football matches out there, I mean, players are scared to travel out there. You know, they won't let their families go out there. They basically already sort of advised a few people to not travel alone or anything like that, to make sure they're in large numbers and things like that. And it just kind of, with comments like that manager said, it's gonna, you know, people are gonna be even more afraid to go out there now more than ever. You know, if people in the Russian football world keep coming out and saying things like that, then you know how a player's going to feel when you're actually out there playing in the matches. And to me, it still puzzles me why the World Cup is even being held out there.
I mean, it's one of them ones. I can understand bringing football to new frontiers and that, but if you've still got antiquated, draconian attitudes that are not only ignorant but borderline threatening, then that's not bringing football into new frontiers. That's bringing it into hostile territory, which is a concern. Which is a concern because of, well, I mean, political problems end up as safety concerns for sports people, not just footballers, not just Olympians, but sports people wanted to go and watch and take part in sporting events.
And you know, I really hope that it doesn't. But I mean, the way people are talking with the World Cup being held in Russia, I mean, I know a few people already have said it wouldn't surprise them if it does kick off out there. It wouldn't shock them.
And but you know what? That's disappointing.
Yeah, it is, because it ruins the sport that we all know, that we all know and love. And I mean, hopefully it doesn't. And hopefully they can, get it sorted and hopefully nothing would happen in that sense. But I mean, the way people are saying about Russia, that's basically the views that they're having on it, because the people know what Russia are like.
Well, I mean, it's not every Russian. But it's looked upon as on a general basis.
I'm not saying. Yeah, I wasn't saying like every Russian was like that. Just a lot of them are. So it's as you say, it's one of them ones.
Hey, everyone's nicking my lines now.
You know what? I want to, not bash the Russians, yeah, because I actually want to try and give them a chance, yeah. Because at the end of the day, with what they did in the Sochi games, yeah, you've got to give them credit for how they handled it. There were the few things about, if you want to go into the political stuff about, their views on sexuality and stuff like that, that was surrounding the games, and certain political issues with bombings and stuff like that. Yeah, that was that cloud in it, but the games were actually a success. So football.
Well, same with the Confederations Cup and the Brazil 2014 World Cup, which had that specter of protesting around it.
Football wise, we would just like to hope that the minority out there that are ignorant, are a minority and not a majority. Yeah, and if anything is to kick off, the Russian police will be able to handle it, just like the British police, just like any police around the world, to be honest. Look at South Africa. Russia's more developed than South Africa. People were very scared about how it would go down in South Africa. Then you remember, well, I'm not even gonna move on, but I'm just gonna say it's like leading back to the point of them being more developed than South Africa. It's like, just give them a chance. That's all I can say, because at the end of the day, you've got your ignorant idiots. We know that already. Like we just spoke about the
I've always got the moronic minority.
So I think we shouldn't dig them out too much and think it's just do a parasitic media thing and make it sound like it's every Russian.
Yeah, that's why I had to say that. I mean, I think it's one of them. It's a concern. That's the thing. It's a concern.
It's one of your phrases.
Yeah, you did. And hey, you used the parasitic media phrase actually very well there. And it's a true point. We're not just gonna label everyone with the same brush and start whipping up a moral panic. No, we're not here to do that. But the fact of the matter is, it is a concern.
Yeah, definitely.
It's legitimately a concern. So, I mean, we've got to bring attention to that and just get people thinking. It is one of those where it is time for us to switch segments again, because it's time for a segment, as you know, very close to me, close to the vest, if you will. Close to the vest. Let's go into Crossroads segment. Oh yeah. Yeah. It is, baby. About that time. It is that time that I enjoy. I haven't been able to be a part of this segment as much as I'd like to be this season, but hopefully that'll be changing. The Grassroots segment. Want to give an opening shout out to the Southern Amateur League, the @14SAL on Twitter, www.southernamateurleague.co.uk. Also the Amateur Football Alliance @AmateurFA on Twitter and www.amateur-fa.com. Ibis Football Club is where we always start. ibisfootballclub@gmail.com, ibisfootballclub@gmail.com, facebook.com/ibis.fc, and twitter.com/ibis_football, @ibis_football on Twitter. ibisfc.co.uk is the official website. Training is every Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. until 9 p.m. at the Battersea Park All Weather AstroTurf pitches, just off Prince of Wales Drive. Get yourself down there if you want to play for the side. And match days are Saturdays. You know what, yeah? We got some results from the 1st of November 2014. The Ibis Ones won 3-1 against Old Blues. Adam Pennycook got 2 and Ben Pierre got 1 as well. So all good, the captain of the Ones. Wearside Rangers 1, Ibis Reserves 3. Pat Baptista got all 3 goals. Nice hat trick, well in Pat. And the Ibis Freeze, we lost 3-0 to Nottsborough 4th. I'll get into that one in a second. But on Saturday, 8th of November 2014. The game's coming up. Our oldest Mr. Citizens hosting the Ibis Ones. The Twos, the Ibis Reserves, are at home to Old Finchleyan's Reserves. Big shout out to their captain, Ollie Wooding. And Old Blues Freeze host the Ibis Freeze. So very interesting stuff. You know what? Yeah, with the freeze this week, it was a case of I had an inkling that I would be in goal again, so I went out and got absolutely smashed. No, I'm kidding. No. I had the inkling that I'd be in goal again, so it was kind of like almost resigned to it. But it was one of them ones where it was an interesting game because we had Dan and Minch at centre back. We had John Ewins at right back, Christian Fritzl at right mid, and we had Gideon Barnett in the middle at centre mid. We had Nick Metcalf at left back in my position. Damn it. Up top, we did start off with Andrew Williams and Sam Kelly. We had Joe Elvin in the middle as well, and it was one of them. It was one of them was where first off, the Nottsborough Force basically were, I think it's pretty good. Were top of the league. I think it was something like 4 wins and 1 draw or 1 defeat or something like that. So pretty good record. But first off, we hung with them step for step. The only thing that was really a problem was trying to get Andrew playing on the last man because we weren't really keeping it that well in midfield. He had to keep dropping back. Yes. Sam Kelly had to drop back into the midfield to help out as well. So it was quite difficult in that way. But we were moving it about nicely. A couple of little scares. They kept trying to put one person on me in goal. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, one on the keeper, and it's like, all right, but we always had one of our defenders to cover for it. There was
corners.
Yeah, corner set pieces, everything. One of their guys had quite a long throw, and they actually I couldn't actually see whether it had gone in or not, but. Basically, there was a shot in the first half where I'd been beaten because the guy shot the ball across me. I've dived for it, stretching, and I've heard the bang as if it's come off the post. And as I turn around, I see the ball rolling back towards me. So I'm thinking, yeah, it's come off the post. The opposition side. The opposition side, Nottsborough, were like, it was in. I had no clue whether it was in or not because by the time I turned around, that ball was rolling back towards me. But in the goals, and I spoke to referee Neil Lawrence at full time actually, and it was like in the goals, you got basically the post coming down like that. You got the post coming down, and it's one of the wheelie goals. So you got the post coming down, and you got another kind of little crossbar on the floor. And the little wheel, and the little silver metal post, little one there. Some were saying that it came back off that, but I don't know. I legitimately didn't see it. There was another goal actually disallowed in the second half, where I got fingertips to it. It was a shot from just outside the box. I actually got fingertips to it, and tipped it onto the crossbar. And obviously, I was bloody full stretch. So as soon as I hit the deck, I turned around and saw the ball been back towards me. So I'm thinking it's bounced off the bar, come off the line, and come straight back out. And I held onto the ball as soon as I got it back. I held onto the ball for a while because I wasn't sure. Because the Nottsborough guys were like, it's in, ref, it's in, ref. And I wasn't sure. So I held on to the ball, waited to see what the ref was going to do. Then everyone, all right, cool, ball's going out. Ball's going back out. So there were 2 goals that I don't know whether they were in or not. Goal line technology might have said different that they were in. I don't know, but it's one of them ones. It looked like it was kind of questionable decisions, but obviously the referee did what he could and he wasn't sure, so he legitimately didn't give it.
Yeah.
But it's one of them ones where
I don't guess you helped him.
I couldn't even see it. I couldn't even see it. But I mean, it's one of them ones.
You got eyes in the back of your head. We all know that.
I have no idea. But no, it was one of them ones. Wes Brown's own goal earlier today was actually hilarious. Brilliant own goal. But no, it was one of them ones where the first goal that we conceded, the first one we conceded was actually it's just laughing at Castello Pantilimon. All right, that's a reaction and a half. Wow, he was fuming about that. But it's one of them ones where the first goal we conceded was from a free kick just about a couple yards outside the box. I think I had a 5-man wall lined up. Could see the ball, but there was a low sun in the second half. I'm dealing with the sun, which was about there, so just above my eye line. And I did have a cap on, but it didn't help because the sun was so low. Now, basically, the free kick, from what I saw of it, came over and curled over and around the wall. And as I moved to jump and dive for it, I lost the ball in the sun. I'm diving full stretch, not even knowing where the ball's gone, and it ends up in the back of the net. So it was one of them ones. The second goal was one of them ones. I think it was off a set piece. The ball had broken loose. I think it was headed down, similar to what Courtois did against Man United a week ago. I parried it, but I've obviously parried it back into the. You're an idiot. But I've at full. I'm at full stretch, so I've parried it as wherever I can, and it's fallen right to the feet of one of their strikers, who's reacted quickly and put it away. So that was the second. The third goal. God, how did the third goal go in? My mind's just gone blank. I had it, and my mind's just gone absolutely blank. The third goal is one of them ones where a shot from just outside the box, pretty much straight at me, but it swerved the touch. I parried it. I was like, I had both hands in front of me, parried it back into the middle, and their strikers pounced on it again. So you could say I felt that I was culpable for at least a couple of them goals, but it was one of them ones again when I parried it and that ball moved. I caught the sun in my eyes on that second one, on that third one. Sorry. So that low sun. Imagine the sun. Imagine my eye line's there. I've got a cap on there, but the sun is literally just there, just literally there. So it was causing me problems all through the half. There was one header back that Gideon actually headed back to me. And we had actually two subs. Jordan Mills was one of the subs. He came on and put a pretty good shift in at left mid. And Anthony played up top as well. It was one of them. It was one of them ones where, there was one header that Gideon played back to me, and I was like, "Oh crap!" I saw him header it back, but then because of the sun, I could not see the ball. So I'm like, "Crap! Where is it? Where is it? Oh, there we go. Just about stretching for it. I kept it, but that's how much the sun was wreaking havoc. It was one of them ones. It was nuts, but we ended up losing 3-0. But you know what? I can't fault the boys for performance. Can't fault them at all. I mean, Christian ended up playing at left back because Minch had to come off, and Nick slotted into the middle, him and Dan. So it was one of them. It was one of them ones. It was a tough game, but you know what? Yeah, we need a keeper. That's what we need. So if anyone knows of any goalkeepers, not wink at someone in the Skype chat. No, I'm only kidding. But it's one of them.
Where was Jamie?
I don't know. But it was one of them ones. You can't change the past, but you can change the future. All I can say is you can't change the past, but you can change the future. And at the end of the day, we're at Ibis. We are actually looking for a keeper. So we're looking for a couple of keepers at least, because I mean, of availability this week, it was mad. So it's one of them ones. That's what we're looking for. Remember, ibisfc.co.uk is the website, at ibis_football on Twitter, and facebook.com/ibis ibis.fc, and email email ibisfootballclub@gmail.com.
Remember, people, you can change the past if you think about your future. Went way over your heads.
That doesn't even make sense.
It went way over your heads. I'm a futurist.
He's a futurist. Can't turn the home to house. Oh yeah. Anyway, but what kind of line made me think of? But you know what? Yeah, another club we also mentioned in the grassroots segment is the club Tom Wood plays for, and that is Porters Soccerbility. The manager's name is Nigel Stewart. Their contact number is 07891839171. They train at Cedar Hall School, Hart Road, Fundersley, Essex, SS7 3UQ. Facebook.com/Porters Soccerbility is their Facebook page. Training is every Saturday 10 till 12, and tournaments are usually once a month as well. Tom Wood, what's happening with Porters Soccerbility this coming week?
Well, this weekend we've got another tournament, in the second tournament of the season in Colchester this weekend, but I'm looking forward to it. Hopes I can bag another goal after I did in the last tournament and end up becoming top scorer.
Good luck with it. Good luck with it. Hope it all goes well. By the way, big shout out to Steve and his Ladies FC, and also a big shout out to Parkgate FC as well. Big shout out to Lee Godsafe as well. Lee's playing too. But you know what? We got to pause that track that we were on because it is time for us to move on, baby. We got some of the more odd stories of the week coming up next. So it is showtime as we move and groove and approach the home straight of the show. It's time for
What's up, man?
I love the way you replug in your headphones just as the video feed came back. That was slack. Oh my god! Big shout out! I said big shout out to Parkgate FC. You know what? It is one of them ones where it's the what's up with that segment of the show. And you know what? Indonesian teams disqualified after scoring 5 own goals. On the 30th of October 2014, this happened. Indonesian club PSS Sleman and PSIS Semarang are disqualified from the country's first division playoffs for scoring 5 own goals. Sleman won the game 3-2, but a committee decided both sides attempted to lose in order to avoid the semi-final match with Borneo FC, a club rumored to be backed by local mafia. The game was scoreless until the 86th minute before Sleman scored 2 own goals in quick succession. Semarang then scored 3 own goals and lost the tie. All I can say to that is,
I don't know what the hell's going on here. Wait a minute. But I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But I don't like it.
that's all I can say about it. What the hell? That one, that is some backwards one-upsmanship. That is some real backwards one-upsmanship. And you know what? Yeah, Jamie Bailey has it right. Actually, he has it right in terms of what it is, because what that is. One team goes and scores. What's it? One team scores 2 own goals, then another one says, "No, we could top that. We're going to score 3 because we don't want to play that mafia backside." Then was, you know what? Fact of the matter is, it legitimately is.
Hey, he stuck his leg. He stuck his leg. Hey, he stuck his leg. He stuck his leg. He stuck his leg. 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 Hey, he stuck his leg. He stuck his leg.
It's one of them ones. It legitimately is a disgrace. Can't be getting away with that. Maybe FIFA might actually want to get involved in that and take a stand, because technically that is actually match fixing. If you want to look at if you want to look at it at least in a rudimentary form, because they're literally trying to affect the outcome of a match. by scoring own goals on purpose. So I'd look into that as a match fixing case, and also I'd look into the fact that apparently Borneo FC are backed by Mafia. I'd look into that as well. Sepp, pull your finger out, bruh. Mr. Blatter, pull your finger out. All I can say.
It's just crazy.
Yeah. Madness. But it's crazy. It is absolutely bloody crazy. I don't know. You know what? Yeah.
But any good own goals in there? Did you get to see any own goals?
Actually, yeah, there is in the show. Yeah, there is a link to it. I actually didn't even watch the own goals. I just didn't want to give it the view.
I don't know if any of them is going to be my goal of the week.
I don't want to give it the rub. But oh my god, it's crazy stuff. It is absolutely crazy stuff.
Did anyone do it done?
Oh no. Did anyone do a Wes Brown? I love that. That was actually pretty funny though. Just got a text through actually. Hey, this is Big T. Hi guys, could you please ask the G-Man to explain his comments in relation to earlier on in the grassroots? Oh yeah. We're getting on to that next. Yeah, that's the next story we're getting on to. Trust me, that's classic.
Oh no, sorry.
It's funny. It's funny you drew my attention to that as like we're reading the Big T text message because Big T's gonna love this next story. But Big T has asked, "Hi guys, could you please ask the G-Man to explain his comments in relation to earlier on the grassroots segment? Get real with your heads. Elaborate, please." And that's from Big T. Get real with your heads. Explain.
Well, considering I can't remember why I said it, I'm presuming it was for a very clean reason, Big T. When I meant get real with your heads, I meant heading off the ball or something like that. I'm presuming so. I'm hoping so.
Oh, Big T, I hope that answers the question. You always got to throw the T's up. By the way, on those two Pitch Talk Meets interviews, we did ask you questions as well to the guests. As said, Big T's gonna have a field day with this next story because Pornhub sponsored team banned from Football League. Offensive sponsor leads to team being excluded as university takes a hard line from the 30th of October 2014. A football team sponsored by pornography. So I'm gonna have to start that again because this is gonna be difficult for me to say with a straight face. Oh, Jamie, that's wrong. Oh my god, it's starting in the Skype chat already. A football team sponsored by pornography site Pornhub have been banned from competing at Kent University. A team named the Rutherford Raiders. Oh, that's a funny name already. A team named the Rutherford Raiders initially had the logo of the website placed on their shirts as a joke, but Pornhub found out and offered to sponsor them for real, according to Kent Online. But the university will not permit Rutherford Raiders to wear a shirt which has been deemed offensive. The University of Kent Sports Department would never sanction sponsorship of this type. It is totally inappropriate, said a university spokesperson. The team has been spoken with and will not be allowed to wear the shirts in question at any time. We take this issue very seriously, and inter-college sports teams, which are the responsibility of Kent Sport, must present any potential sponsorship and or logos for approval. An unnamed team member had told the Tab, "We are struggling to see why they are having a problem. The university cricket team are sponsored by Kingfisher, which is also an age-restricted product. The university rugby team once had training shirts with 80 minutes, 15 positions, no protection, one a ruck." That's good. In my opinion, the decision is made by people in Kent Sport that are out of touch with what's socially acceptable. It is hard for football teams to find a sponsor. Both Kent Sport and Rutherford refused to give us any money. Clearly, Pornhub did, because there was an opportunity to create a bit of attention. I personally haven't come across anyone yet that has found it anything other than funny. I'll be right back.
I just gotta say that that person with the last couple of quotes there was an idiot.
Well, we've seen a lot of funny sponsorships.
Yeah, we have.
Benfica condoms being Jezzy's favorite. And
But yeah, Benfica condoms. That's a different different connotation to Pornhub, though.
it's exactly the same thing.
No, it's
Remember
not.
what the tagline was
Wait,
Remember what the tagline was for Benfica condoms. Go on the attack with Benfica condoms.
Wait,
that is littered with innuendo.
But at the end of the day, at least we know, at least we know Benfica condoms serve a purpose, and that purpose is, in this day and age, to do what? Protection.
Yeah.
Protection. That's what it's there for. Kids should learn about protection, because at the end of the day, in the society we're living in, kids are having unprotected sex. Whereas Pornhub is a connotation for watching porn.
Yeah, but technically that's
watching porn.
But technically, if you're going online to somewhere like Pornhub and you're watching pornographic material, that's technically safe sex. No, what? Mate, it's one of them ones. You're technically, if you're doing the old self high five, remember kids, too much of that will make you blind. If you're doing the old self high five, you're technically having sex with yourself, so it's still safe sex in a roundabout.
I wish I could use a Riley quote right now. I wish I could.
Dude's dropping Riley from the Boondocks. Yeah. Oh my god.
Bigger you bay.
Yeah.
Bigger.
That's terrible. That is terrible. All I could say is, hey.
And I don't mean bay, BAE.
No, that's people. But no, it's one of them. Was university team cricket team being sponsored by Kingfisher. That's an alcoholic beverage, so that's fine. Okay, right. But the university rugby team with the training shirts, 80 minutes, 15 positions, no protection, won a ruck. You know what they really mean with that line. Come on.
I don't. They just mean it's rugby, 18 positions.
Minutes,
18.
15 positions.
Yeah, there's 15 positions.
No protection.
No protection.
Won a ruck.
Yeah, what?
Won a ruck. That's like oh my god. That's like an old John Cena t-shirt, I think, from about 7-8 years ago. Ruck fools. Come on, you know what they're really trying to say. Ruck fools. Come on. You know what they're really trying to say with that. G-Man's trying to go politically correct on me. This is tremendous. This is tremendous. This is tremendous. I never thought I'd see this day.
I just don't believe it.
But I find that funny. I mean, do any of the Skypers want to jump in on this point? Because I'm sure we throw them teas up for Big T, and I'm sure Big T is absolutely loving this at the moment. But if any of the Skypers want to jump in, remember 07535804466 is the mobile number, at Pitch Talk on Twitter, facebook.com/Pitch Talk. Jamie Bailey, how about it?
So what was the words again? If you could remind me.
Which words? What on the team thing?
No, I'm just thinking if it was actually down to Pornhub, then like I said, they're going to be asking Benfica. They should have asked JLS.
Oh,
a lot more safety when it's smaller.
Oh, not that gimmicky. Oh god.
But I think it might have been seen as a groupie moment in the wrong direction, if you know what I mean.
I personally find this whole thing funny, to be honest. I mean,
it's funny.
I find it funny. I mean, for me, anyone who's offended by it, it's a university team. So everyone in that university is going to be 18 plus.
Yeah, but come on.
So
come on. Sean 18 goes home. His little sister Kate 15 decides she's going to wear his top, and she puts on Pornhub and she's walking around the house. It's like, it just doesn't sound right.
Why would that happen? I don't know why that would happen.
My little sister likes to wear my little brother's old football tops because they fit her. So
yeah,
just what happened?
No, all right.
She might be
but
bigger than you know.
But your little sister's younger though.
Yeah,
she's little, so you can get away with that when you're little.
Yeah.
But
you can't get away with it when you're 15, G man.
I guess this is.
What do you mean? What, wearing your brother's tops?
No, you really can't get away with it when you're 15.
You know, all I can say is I could kind of understand where you're coming from in a way, G man, because at the end of the day,
it's false advertisement.
At the end of the day, let's not go down that way. But anyway, no, it's one of them ones where like I could kind of understand, because at the end of the day, with like Everton being sponsored by Chang Beer and when Liverpool was sponsored by Carlsberg, on the kids' tops, especially the babies' tops, they couldn't have, if it's something like 888 Bet or Carlsberg, some sort of alcoholic beverage, you couldn't have it on the top. Yeah. So because of advertising that kind of thing with children and that kind of thing, I can understand that. But it's a university thing. Come on. That's all I can say. But you know what? Yeah, you know what? As
perfect time for the Kool-Aid right now.
For the Kool-Aid, you know.
Just imagine if they got a team.
Oh yeah.
A team of.
Oh, Jamie's disgusting. Oh no, Pornhub.
Just imagine if they got a team of pom-pom dancers, and you know the Pornhub girls, and you got to think about this carefully. You know, like cheerleaders, like the Pornhub girls and.
Oh my word! The
and just imagine you got a females team and they're sponsored by Pornhub, and they got Pornhub spread all across their chest. Come on, you have to. You just have to think carefully about what you're portraying out there.
Oh my god!
I mean, no disrespect to anyone out there. I seriously don't. You know, if you disagree with me, you know, then write in, phone in next week, have your say about it. But I'm just saying.
You know, we got to put that out on the. You know, we got to put that out on the social networks now. It's one of them ones. Pornhub as a university team sponsor, right or wrong? You know, we got to put that out on the socials. That's too funny. I'm saying that.
Put down X and double X.
That you know what? Oh my god, man! Oh my god, he just tried to. Oh no, Jamie Bailey's suggesting Danny Doring's favorite pornographic website. Everyone then was xnxx.com. If you've watched Danny Doring's You Shoot, that is hilarious. That is actually really funny. But yeah, it's one of them ones. Hey, pornographic sponsors in football. I guess it would kind of make sense. Yeah, anyway, I'm not actually there's stories that I could go into about that, but no, it's one of them ones. Well, the old Ibis Newcastle tours. I'm saying nothing. But anyway, I'm leaving that one aside. But you know what? It is time to switch to the final segment of the show.
Ibis sponsored by RedTube. Come on.
That wouldn't. Hey, I'd go for that. I'd go for that. I'd be proud to wear that. I'm already proud to wear a census, so hey, we're one of them ones. But you know what? It is time for us. Big shout out to Barry Clark and Mark Furness of his census, by the way. Baz, get well soon on that injury. You know what? It is time for the final. That's not a bad one. Let's go to the final part of the show, which is.
Stuff of the week.
Hey! Stuff of the week. This is Pitch Talk. This is it. This is Monday night. Home straight to the show. Every Monday night. Talking football. Pitch Talk. It's our start of the week.
Every Monday night.
That last story about Pornhub.
Bates.
Sponsoring a unique team.
Bates.
Always funny. Oh, you know what? Yeah, let's go into. I'm just seeing some dancing. Like, I'm just seeing the advert for Bolton Wigan and Derby Wolves coming up this Saturday. It's one. I'm just seeing dancing for the advert. It's tremendous. It's actually tremendous. You know what? Yeah, let's go into stuff of the week, and let's start with team of the week. G-Man, who you going for? Team of the week.
You know what, team of the week, and I've got to look at my little paper here because I was inspired by what Ian Kerr said earlier on, and I'm going for Western Sydney Wanderers fans. They are the team of the week. 14 fans taking that trip to. Yeah, excellent.
I'm gonna go off the field. I'm gonna go Borussia Dortmund. Their fans for that stand against racism, homophobia and xenophobia. Fantastic stuff. Got to say, yeah, the Borussia Dortmund fans, and also Castle Point and Rochford Domestic Abuse Panel as part of the Community Safety Partnership playing for the Silent Victim Trophy. That also, for me, that deserves a mention as well.
An honourable mention to Man United for showing progression.
Progression, but no points. Kerbal Allen was track one. Let's go with Tom Wood. Who are you going for? Team of the week.
You got to know this one. Cardiff City for beating Leeds.
Oh, there's going to be a lot of these ones. Ross Vernon, team of the week.
Before I do mine, I just want to say, Tom, what league are you in again?
Team of the week, Ross. Team of the week. Come on, team of the week.
And my team of the week goes to Newcastle United.
Oh, wait. Hold on. There's an irony here. So Russ, I'd like to ask you the same question you asked Tom Wood. What league are you in?
Championship.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Calm as a BI, isn't it? Life sucks and then you die. What's it? Leeds suck and then you die. That's how it's gonna go. Kieran Riley, team of the week.
Gotta be Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Fair shout. Wayne Schumann, team of the week.
Going to give it to Newcastle United. I'm impressed with how they turned it around.
See, that's a good shout for team of the week. That is actually a fantastic shout on the pitch. It's one of them was 2 wins on the bounce, one against the reigning champions and reigning Capital One Cup champions as well, who are now out. It's one of them ones. Can't give it that. Jamie Bailey, team of the week.
Shrewsbury Town.
Oh, good shout. Let's go for Mike Hardiman, team of the week.
Yeah, I'm going to give it to Sunderland for the win tonight on the back of their couple of bad defeats they've had in the past sort of 2 to 3 weeks.
Great shout. That 3-1 win tonight against Palace away at Selhurst Park. Fantastic shout. Let's go for, actually, we've got a returning Skyper, actually. So, Chloe Griffin, hopefully you got your mic on. Who's your team of the week?
Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Now, why would that be?
Who knows? Well, I went on last week and we beat Leeds, so.
I love it. Everyone just enjoys beating Leeds. I'd hope Liverpool draw Leeds in the third round of the FA Cup so we can dump them out. We could dump them out like yesterday's garbage. We can beat them like a dusty rug at spring cleaning. We can beat them like a drum. Whip them like a dog. In the words of Jim Barnett. Let's go on to goal of the week. Goal of the week. Look at Tarzan. Goal of the week. I am going to Liverpool beat Leeds. Try a step in the Premier League first. Make one. But let's go for goal of the week. That was a finish. That was actually a tremendous finish from Oscar. I got to say. G-Man, who you going for goal of the week?
Goal of the week.
Would you like me to turn up the music while you think?
You know what? Come back to me. Send it out there. Send it.
Yeah, Russford and goal of the week.
For me, Liam, Alex Moore for the conversion of chip over the keeper in the defeat to Cardiff. I think he played well as well.
No, I hear that. You're actually lucky. Actually, no, I'm not going to ruin it. Wayne Schumann, goal of the week.
Oscar's goal for Chelsea.
Good shout. Kieran Riley, goal of the week.
Got to be the goal that secured Cardiff's win the other day.
Wait. The one against Leeds, the third one.
Oh yeah.
Oh. That's it. You know what? That's why I didn't want to ruin it. I was gonna say Russ is lucky no one said it yet. But goal of the week, that Kenwyne Jones goal. Oh, that goal definitely deserves the rating of
-5 stars.
Oh my God, Mike Harneman, goal of the week.
I've partly got to agree with Kieran and say that goal, the one that summed up Leeds' season, how it's going so far. And also, I'm going to give an honourable mention to Royston Drenter's goal for Sheffield Wednesday as well.
Great shout. No, that is a great shout. Bit of a fall from grace in terms of Royston Drenther, but hey, it's one of them ones. Who else in terms of goal of the week? Chloe Griffin, who you going for? Goal of the week.
I have a say.
Oh, you. All right, cool.
That one yesterday, that free kick that was deflected off of the feet that guy.
Oh, what, the Harry Kane one?
Yeah.
Just at the play highlights. No, was it Benteke's and his handbags at dawn? That was so stupid. It was so stupid. Benteke looks like he smacked someone up. G-Man, who are you going for goal of the week?
Goal of the week. You know what? To be honest, I couldn't think of any good goals of this week, so I'm going to keep it with Alexis Sanchez and his first goal, the header, to beat two guys and only be 5'3", 5'4". Amazing. Amazing.
Good shout. Jamie Bailey, goal of the week. Jamie.
You've forgotten. Thought you actually forgotten. Anyway,
no,
I'm gonna go with the person that scored against Chelsea. He actually scored a decent goal against Dagenham Redbridge. I don't know if you've actually seen it, but Mangan, the one that no, not the flick.
Austin. Oh.
No, didn't say Austin. Didn't say QPR. I said Shrewsbury.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Mangan's goal was nice.
I was gonna say Austin's goal was good as well.
Yeah, no. I'm not following QPR at the moment. Sorry.
All right, let's move on because we've got so we've done goal, we done team. Let's do player of the week. G-Man, who you going for player of the week?
Player of the week. Player.
Actually, this might be the perfect tune. Actually, let's think about it. G-Man's thinking about it.
What, you ain't going?
Oh no, I'm giving you the courtesy of doing yours first.
Oh man, Sanchez. I'm trying to keep off the Arsenal bias, but no, Sanchez. He has to be a player of the week. To be honest.
I hear that. I am gonna go in terms of player of the week. There's actually a couple of tempting ones, to be honest, because you know what, I'm actually going to go Jose Mourinho as my player of the week, and the reason being, complete departure, I know, from usual, but I'm gonna go Jose Mourinho just for the pure fact of him taking time to meet that Shrewsbury fan, Lloyd Burton.
I thought he was going to say for him being real for once and telling the Chelsea fans what he really thinks of them, the empty stadium.
Yeah, that was an interesting one as well. Yeah, that got him over with me as well. But yeah, Mourinho meeting with 11-year-old Shrewsbury fan Lloyd Burton before that game. Yeah. I respect that. I respect that. As much as I've said I dislike Mourinho, the way he goes on, the way his public persona is. It's one of them ones. I gotta say, you know what? Smacked it. Gotta say, enough respect for that one. Wayne Schumann, who you going for? Goal of the week? Sorry, not goal of the week. Player of the week.
I'm going to go for Callum Chambers because he got his first goal for Arsenal and he just keeps impressing me week in, week out.
Not a bad shout at all. Chloe Griffin, who are you going for? Player of the week. Oh, Chloe, you there?
I like Ime.
Who you going for?
I like Ime.
No, I heard that. Anyway, you want to give us the reason?
Kept us 0-0 with Blues.
No, I heard that. Tom Wood, who you going for? Player of the week and your goal of the week.
My goal of the week is going to be the 3 goals that Leeds conceded against Cardiff.
Oh, not again.
And my player of the week is going to go to Phil Brown.
Nah, good shout. Kieran Riley, player of the week.
Got to be Carl Hakimi after making some fantastic saves at the derby match against Birmingham on Saturday.
Are you feeding Chloe Griffin her lines? No, or is she feeding you?
No,
These scripted ad-libs.
Both Wolves fans.
That's my point. That was scripted ad-libs. Now get it. Russ Vernon, player of the week.
For me, Liam, is going to be Perez because the way he played against Liverpool and for the magnificent performances he's been made for Newcastle.
Jamie Bailey, player of the week.
Right now I'm sort of in the words of Pornhub, stumped at the moment. So I'm probably going to go with. But you'll have to come back to me on that one. I'm not too sure.
Okay. Cool.
You know.
Oh, Frank Sinclair, look at that. Oh, God, I ain't seen that name in years. Why are they trying to bring out Carragher mocking, man? They're trying it. But hours per own goal, 103. That's actually not a bad ratio, to be honest, considering how long he played for.
Yeah, you'll have to come back to me anyway.
Okay. Mike Harneman, your player of the week.
For me, I'm going to give it to Lee Barnard. He signed for Stevenage on loan from Southend on Friday, straight in the team Saturday, and he scores. So for that reason, I'm going to give my player of the week to Lee Barnard.
Good shout. Let's go for flop of the week. Let's go for flop of the week. Flop of the week for me has to be Leeds United, because that defeat against Cardiff, all 3 of those goals were absolutely atrocious defending, including the last goal. The one by Kenwyne Jones, it's a case of
-5 stars. -5 stars.
Is the rating that Leeds United get this week. Also, Chris Smalling as well deserves the rating of
-5 stars. -5 stars.
So Leeds United and Chris Smalling, decide between yourselves. G-Man, who you going for?
My flop of the week, yeah? The flop, yeah? No, I can't look past Ben Tekers because his slap effectively slapped his own team down.
Got knocked, slap down. Villa got knocked, slap down.
Big -5 star for Benteke.
Oh, would you like me to do it for Christian Benteke?
-5 stars. -5 stars.
Cool. I'm happy with that one. Jamie Bailey, flop of the week.
I'm actually going to go with the dude's name again. I forgot. It's my flop of the week is actually Lee Clark, the Blackpool manager. He's gone from one relegated club, and believe it or not, I don't know if they're going to be relegated now, to another. As far as I'm concerned, he's just put himself into a predicament where his CV is going to literally say relegated in 2015.
Libby's. Mike Harneman, who you going for flop of the week?
Right, I'm going to have to give it to Leeds United. for the sole reason of, it's another defeat, Russ, and probably another manager that's going to burn his way out in the next couple of games as well.
Oh, that's a good shout. That's a good shout. Tom Wood, flop of the week.
Leeds and some of the South End supporters for giving stick to Phil Brown on Twitter.
I hear that. Chloe Griffin, have you got a flop of the week? You going for Leeds? Oh, that's such a living. Everyone going for Leeds again with the boys. Ross Vernon, flop of the week.
Right, Liam. For me, that flop of the week, I'm going to give it to Michael Oliver, the referee in the Man United game. Reason behind that, didn't give 3 stonewall penalties to Manchester City. And I just wanted to say to a Fulham United fan, Carol Lill, get well soon, because last Monday, she was sadly diagnosed with breast cancer and can't go to the Fulham against Sheffield Wednesday game at Hillsborough this weekend. So get well soon, Carol.
No, I couldn't.
From everyone at Pitch Talk.
No, I couldn't agree more on both sentiments there. Couldn't agree more on both sentiments. Wayne Schumann, flop of the week.
For the 3rd week in a row, I'm going to go for Leeds United, and Russ for the 3rd week in a row. Ha ha ha.
Take great pleasure in that. Kieran Riley, flop of the week.
Well, I was stuck between Leon Clark and Bakary Saka for Wolves against Birmingham City, but I'm just going to join in the fun and say Cardiff City 3, Leeds United 1.
And Leeds' performance deserves
-5 stars. -5 stars.
I'll leave that as that. But you know what? It is one of them ones where we have been your Monday Night Football fix. And G-Man, should we give him a wave? G-Man, give him a wave. We are going to give everybody a wave on the socials as well. Remember, you can always catch up with us. And, it's time for us to vacate the place with a haste. But it has been fun. It has been fun on your Monday Night Football and Fix. A big thank you to everyone for joining us as well. So one of them was big shouts to the Skypers, those listening live as well. Jack Hinchin, big shout out. Lavinia, big shout out, and many, many more as well. You know what? It is time for us to start vacating the place with a haste.
Hi, I'm John Sitton, and I'm here with Gavin, Liam, and Gerald on Pitch Talk.
The football talk show that pulls no punches and holds back nothing on opinions.
Hello, I'm Robert Rest. My name is Christian Carambeu.
I'm grassroots coach Manisha Taylor.
Hi, I'm Matt Hodgson, director of the 4-year plan, and you're listening to Pitch Talk, the only place to get your Monday night footballing fix.
Make sure you join the revolution.
The pitch is where we eat.
The pitch is where we sleep.
And the pitch is where we talk.
I'm Andy Copeland from the Glennet Southern Amateur League.
Philip Wick, I'm CEO of 14.
Rob Lusher, former chairman of Ibis FC.
I'm Samir Sawhney, co-founder and co-director of Motivate Sports and Fitness.
And you're listening
to Pitch Talk.
Ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. XNXX.com. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, straight shooting LJ, the G-Man and Jesse Fizzle proud bring to you the football talk show that pulls no punches and holds back nothing on opinions, because the pitch is where we eat,
the pitch is where we sleep,
and the pitch is where we talk. Let's hope we can get sponsored by Pornhub at some point. Anyway, I was
just about to talk to you that.
A couple round on strike one. But yeah. Facebook.com/Pitch Talk. Become a fan, become a friend, become a member of the group. Join the footballing revolution we're working so hard to create. MySpace.com/Pitch Talk. PitchTalk.blogspot.com or .co.uk will get you to the blogs by yours truly, Straight Shooting LJA, the G-Man, Jesse Fizzle, and many more, including Dave Meir, aka @MeirC on Twitter, Russ Vernon, Mike Harneman, Big T, aka Thomas Hewitt, who texted us earlier, and many more. Also, youtube.com/Pitch Talk for all the latest videos, including our Pitch Talk Meet series, our Pitch Talk at the Cup Final series, and much more. Also, big time shouts have to be said to twitter.com/Pitch Talk or at Pitch Talk on Twitter. Tweet with us, follow us, and see what we are up to. Remember, the mobile number is 075358044. And we are Pitch Talk 1 on Skype and Pitch Talk Live on Google Plus as well. You know what? Big time shout outs to those in the Skype chat who joined us tonight. Kieran Riley, Ross Vernon, Mike Harneman, Chloe Griffin, Jamie Bailey, Tom Wood. Also, Ian Kerr of Thin White Line Magazine. www.thinwhitelinemagazine.com, at Tweet White Line as well, and facebook.com/Thin White Line Magazine. Big time shout out to Ian Kerr, the editor of that magazine, for his A-League roundup, his Australian A-League roundup. So all good. You know, big shout outs to girls on the ball, Sophie and Rachel, and their rabbit Scotty as well. Big time shout outs to Motivate Sports and Fitness, and many more deserve some shout outs too. So many shout outs, so little time, but you know what? Fantastic stuff. Big time shouts to Mike Harneman's significant other, and that is Tara. Big shout outs on the subject of Mike Harneman. Big shout outs to Storm FM as well. You know what? Big shouts to Parkgate FC, Porter Soccerability, and also Ibis Football Club as well. You know what? It is time for us to vacate the place with a haste. I have been Straight Shooting LJA.
And I have been Pornhub. No, the G-Man.
And we will see you next week. Thank you very much. Good night.